last minute lost item, and then ran into Condon by the coffee. I gotta get coffee. I gotta change the morning routine, because if I'm at the coffee machine at the same time as Condon, it runs over.
Oh, I know, and I love coffee conversation with
Same,
him.
but
yeah,
it just, when me and Rich get going, it doesn't end quickly. So, but we're here now and we're off and running and we're good to go, and we've got a huge show stacked up for you. There's very little overall theme except for this. The countdown to the regular session begins, y'all. We're going to talk about workers' comp bills to start off with. I know that's not exactly where you thought we'd start off, but we're gonna start there. On our guest list, we got Patrick Robinson from LABI. Also, Moon Griffon going to join us later on in the show, as he does every Monday. We'll give you the full rundown in just a little bit, but let's go ahead and start you off with top stories and trending. Would help if I'd taken the right sheet. Here we go. Got a couple different traffic stories and top stories this morning. Let's start off with this one. Tomorrow evening at Glen Oaks High, the City Parish and the Move EBR program management team will host a public open house for the Mickens Road Hooper to Jor project. Alternatives to improve traffic flow along Mickens have been evaluated and a final design has been selected. During the meeting, the public will be able to review conceptual images of the proposed improvements and ask questions of the project team. I got to plead ignorance on this one, y'all. I don't really hear, if that's part of your normal daily commute, let me know. How jammed up does Mickens get? Because I got to tell you, I don't take Mickens during normal hours, but I was on Mickens, Thursday around lunchtime, and it was smooth sailing. So let me know. Post up over on our Facebook Live. Do you take Mickens on a regular basis? And if so, how jammed up does it get? Keeping it with traffic-related issues, take you out to Gonzales per our news partners at WBRZ. Cabela's Parkway, in Gonzales will be closed for 2 weeks starting Monday as work continues on 3 roundabouts along Highway 30. According to Department of Transportation and Development, the closure will be in effect from today until Monday, March 9th. The closure will be effective along Cabela's between Highway 30 and West Outfitters Drive. LED, Louisiana Department of Economic Development, has a big announcement coming up today in Shreveport. Whatever is coming will be unveiled at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium at 1 p.m. The press release on the announcement came out yesterday. Now, while we don't know what exactly is being announced just yet, we do know the governor will be in attendance. So he'll be joining Secretary Bourgeois and a number of local officials. So I got a feeling this is another big one. 1 person was killed, 2 were injured in an industrial accident at a Belrose plant on Sunday, according to Assumption Parish Office of Emergency Preparedness Director Paul LeBlanc. LeBlanc said a crew was doing a routine pressure test on a brine well at the GIE plant off Grand Bayou Road when the equipment failed. A loose hose struck 3 people, killing 1. The 2 others were taken to the hospital by AirMed. Make it 20 overall. 2 more deaths were confirmed at Elaine Hunt Correctional over the past week, the Department of Corrections said. Gerald Thompson died Friday, February 15th. Walter Wiley died on February 20th. Causes are undetermined, but an autopsy has been ordered for each. If I'm counting right, that does make 20 at Elaine Hunt since September of last year.
The U.S. Secret Service said on Sunday, I was getting these alerts at 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning.
Yep.
Its agent shot and killed a man in his 20s after he unlawfully entered a secure perimeter at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
Yeah, so this would make, you can't call it an assassination attempt because, no shots were fired at the president, but dude was on the president's property with a gun. So, he's bringing a gun to the president's house. I can't imagine what other motives could be out there.
I know. It's not like he was trying to hop a fence to go steal something, had a full-blown gun.
Right.
Right. 30 million people from Maryland to Maine are under blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings that exceed as far south as North Carolina. Whoa.
Yeah. Have you been seeing the footage out of New York?
Yes.
It's awful.
So Fox Weather, the one that runs all the time on your channels, I was looking at it last night. They had a 4-screen view of Philadelphia, DC, New York, and I'm just sitting here watching the snow pummel these people.
Yeah. And just not letting up anytime soon. And the thing is, like, so when I was in DC for Washington Mardi Gras, similar on the snow end, but this is like not, how to say this the right way, not as cold. So it's like heavier and wetter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it wasn't just like, you're not just gonna have big old chunks of ice sitting around. It makes it somehow tougher to move out of the way and whatnot. It's not ideal, to be sure.
Man. Okay. You may never brew coffee in your hotel room again now that a travel influencer has gone viral for how she does a laundry on the go. Ooh. She admitted to putting her underwear in the filter chamber of her in-room coffee maker to steam them clean.
That explains so much. I saw so many different TikToks about this over the weekend and had no idea what they were talking about.
Oh my God. Gross.
In the coffee maker.
Yes.
Okay, so let's ask this question for Facebook Live as well. Do you ever use the coffee maker in the room, or you just wait till you get to the lobby?
I do.
You use the coffee maker in the room?
I do.
I gotta say, I never touch it. I grab and go in the lobby. I never, or lobby or, restaurant area, whatever. But I don't know that I've ever touched a coffee maker in the room.
So for me, being a lady, before I can even step outside the room, I got to put my face on.
Okay.
So that's my routine. I will make a cup of coffee in the room, sit there on the floor with a little mirror and do my makeup. Yeah. I'm not thinking about stepping out the room to go get a coffee yet. So yeah, as a woman, I use the coffee maker.
You going to keep doing it after hearing this?
No, hell no.
I was going to say.
I might just go bear it all, go get a cup of coffee and come back in.
I mean, yeah, just head down the lobby, come right back. You don't care.
Byron says, I'm not doing it.
No?
Nope.
I've never touched the coffee maker, so it's not going to affect me. I just can't imagine anybody, coming up like, this coffee tastes like draws.
God. And real quick, before we get out of top stories and trending, you'll cover this in sports. Hooray. Congratulations. U.S. hockey gold yesterday.
So that's all anybody could talk about yesterday.
Yes.
Literally everybody I ran into. And I'm like, do you know how, this is one of those things. I'm happy for the U.S. team. It wasn't amazing. I was following it online. Yeah. I'm getting ready for church and whatnot.
It aired at 6:30 in the morning yesterday.
Right. And it ended an hour before. Well, it ended about 9:30.
Something like that. I watched the tail end.
So yeah, I was following it online. I wasn't following it. It wasn't stopped to watch it because, Sunday mornings for church and we were getting ready for mass and whatnot. So I would check in every so often, but overtime goal from a dude who got his chiclets knocked out earlier in the game. That he took a high stick and lost some teeth.
I didn't see that part.
Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh yeah. So,
ooh. And you're going to cover this too, but they were, they beat them in overtime to win first hockey goal since 1980, what they call the miracle on ice.
Yep. All right. We are at 6:14 to Talk 107.3 FM. Running a little bit long. Tell you what, let's go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we will hear from Jack Hughes, his post-game interview. Talk a little LSU baseball next as well. Yeah, he lost some chiclets.
Yeah. You just want me to fire it up from the beginning and we'll just get out of it when we need to. It's a minute 36.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you'd have a chance to have listened to it first.
I just got it, right when you walked in.
Oh, I had sent it at 5:30. So.
I just now got it.
Okay.
Let me look. Yeah, it's 6:08. I got it.
Odd.
That's where we're gonna have to cut it. That's American hockey right there.
Yep, that's fine.
Where we're not. All right, that gives you 44 seconds. No, actually, no, I lie. 23 seconds.
We're going to start with that and then backtrack to baseball.
Okay. Are they still having that fire that's burning over there?
In St. Tammany?
Yeah.
No, I think it's out.
Okay.
Well, they got the interstate reopened for sure.
Okay. Someone was talking about we went to dinner last night and I heard some man say, yeah, they got a fire. And I'm like, shit.
Which is crazy because the day before it took a bunch of rain.
Right.
.617 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We got a lot of LSU sports news to cover, but we're probably gonna have to wait till our next segment to get to that because I want to start off with the follow-up from where we were in our trending stories. Obviously, U.S. hockey was trending yesterday after the United States beat Canada in overtime 2-1 to take home the gold. That means they take home the gold, both men's and women's hockey. Here was Jack Hughes, who scored the winning goal.
Jack, the first gold medal for the United States in 46 years, and you delivered it. Can you just describe the emotions of this moment right now?
This is all about our country right now. I love the USA. I love my teammates. It's unbelievable. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong, and we had so much support from ex-players. I'm so proud to be American today.
This
So proud.
was such an incredible game to grind out. I mean, you're bleeding right through it just looking at you right now. Can you just talk about how difficult this gold medal was to win?
Unbelievable game by Hellebuck. He was our best player tonight by a mile. Unbelievable game. Unreal game by our team. That's just a ballsy, gutsy win. That's American hockey right there.
You know what? Stick around at the end of the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to have our Moral Dilemma Monday. We had to move Moral Dilemma Monday around to make room for some guests. And I really like what he had to say because that level of patriotism, that level of pride in your country should not be like objectionable or questionable or anything like that. But it was the spark of a lot of topics or you know, conversations online yesterday. You know, it just, is there another nation out there where if you take pride in your nation, people are going to call you out for it? I don't think so.
We've done it for 250 years.
Right. I realize that. And every other country on the planet gets to do it as well.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when it's America, it gets called into question. We're going to talk about that at 7:55 as part of our Moral Dilemma Monday. I'm looking forward to this conversation. Actually, something else started the conversation, but we will get to it. So, looking at the clock. Okay. LSU men's basketball on Saturday, they fell short. Another valiant effort by the Tigers. Hard-fought effort. They come up just a little bit shy. They're going to be on the road on Wednesday at Ole Miss. Let me pause right here. We'll pick this up on the back end of the break. Here's the Fox Business Report.
Keith Foreman says new bridge shut down.
Do what?
Keith wants to know the new bridge shut down. Is it?
Now, about an hour ago it was. It's cleared up. It's in the clearing stages now. Yeah, you're going to find some minor delays on your way in.
Good morning, Kim.
Happy late birthday, Kim.
Happy belated, Kim. 21 again. 21 again.
Just leave with me now, say the word and we'll go. Go ahead and start you off 110 eastbound coming in from West Baton Rouge. Looks like we're down to just very minor delays from an earlier accident. Minor delays from an earlier accident. You're still going to slow down just a little bit. Can you lower the bed just a hair? We are. It's not completely clear yet, but where we're at right now is you don't need to change your route or anything like that. It's just going to slow you down a little bit. 12 westbound coming in from Livingston Parish actually looks good back by Dedham Springs, but you're going to find some intermittent delays as you're making your way through Baton Rouge, around Millaville, around Sherwood. And then also on 10 westbound after the split, you are going to find some delays in the middle of Baton Rouge, right around, it looks like in between College and Acadian. You're going to tap the brakes a good bit there. 10 westbound coming in from Ascension. If you back things up, looks good there as well. And there are no surface street accidents to report at this time. That's really good traffic from the Talk 1073 Traffic Center. .623 Talk 1073 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We were talking about LSU basketball on the way in, on the way into the Fox Business Report right there. Another hard-fought loss over the weekend for the Tigers, and it continues to be bad. It's been bad all season long. I would really like everybody to look at it through this prism, though, is when NIL is not pay for play. I understand that. We all understand that. NIL is not pay for play. A lot of people, will make that a comparison, and it's hard not to make that comparison. But at its core, it's not, quote-unquote, pay for play. Now, if it were pay for play, I would tell you that LSU has invested roughly $8 to $9 million in this roster. That is a huge uptick from last year, where it was around $2.5 million. But of that $8 to $9 million, $3 million of it is hurt. So when you look at what LSU's been doing in conference play this year, keep in mind that a third of the NIL budget is hurt between DJ Thomas and Jalen Reed. It makes it a lot tougher to get anything done when two of your best are on the bench. Jalen Reed for almost all of the season, DJ Thomas for almost all of the conference play, minus 2.5 games. So Tigers were on the road. They were at number 25, Alabama. They played their butts off and still lost. Home against number 25, Alabama. Played their butts off, still came up short. It's been a similar scenario the last 3 or 4 games in a row. Jalen Reese continues to improve. I'm liking a lot of what he's doing right now. PJ Carter, we're seeing life from him from beyond the 3-point line. There are small improvements along the way. It's just not hitting the win column. That being said, we need a win on Wednesday, February 25th. LSU is going to be at Ole Miss, and it is going to be a fever pitch in there for the bottom of the league. LSU's at the bottom of the Southeastern Conference standings right now. Ole Miss is second to last, and believe you me, they want blood. How do I know they want blood? Because the LSU women were there on Thursday. ESPN was there. Stephen A. Smith was there. The entire Ole Miss football team was there. The ESPN crew was like, oh, look how great this is, that all these people are showing up for women's college basketball. No. They were there to hate the purple and gold. They were 100% there to hate on LSU because we stole Lane Kiffin. And you know what? The ladies went in there and took that game as well, whipped their behinds soundly, behind most of the game, and then put on a fourth quarter that said, nah, that's who you are. This is who we are. Take the lesson. Know your role. So now the men have to go in there as well and hopefully can come out with a victory. That'll be Wednesday night, though. All right. Moving from basketball to baseball, and we'll get to women's college basketball. We'll get to Mulkey's team in just a minute. But LSU baseball was on the road in Jacksonville. 3-game set versus 3 different quality teams. Tigers win all 3. An 11-0 run rule victory over UCF yesterday. William Schmidt from Catholic High threw 5 shutout innings, gave up 3 hits, had 7 strikeouts along the way. Coach Jay Johnson says it was all high-quality baseball that is sustainable.
Started with William on the mound. He was exceptional. 0 in the error column, great defense. And then offensively, busted through there in the third and strung together, 3 or 4 quality at-bats in a row several times throughout the game. And that 11 piled up really quickly, I think, over 3 innings.
Kate Aaron Beatty had a second home run in as many days. Derek Curiel, Jake Brown each drove in 3 runs. But Schmidt was the story of the day. Like I said, struck out 7. He only walked 1. Working out the kinks from last year to this year, it's looking good thus far.
I figured out that they were kind of checking off the off speed early in the at-bat, so I could land that for a few free strikes, and then just later in the count, putting them away when I have a chance. And then, the defense really helped a lot in multiple plays, but Seth Dardar had a few breathtaking plays, and York laying out his body on the line for us. That's what it's going to take to win championships. And, if they keep doing that and our bats keep performing, just watch out.
The Tigers are now 8-0. It's too soon to start talking repeat. I don't want to do that. But the way they're looking to start off the season, Coach Johnson, he could do nothing but approve.
I like how important it is to them. And when I say important, how they're choosing, as William said, the decisions they're making of how they're going to compete in the game and compete in their plan. And when you have players of these guys' caliber, when they do that, that's very advanced for this age group. And so I just want them to continue to do that.
LSU will be back at it. What's this? A night game in the box? 6:30 versus McNeese tomorrow night. You'll hear it on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Let me check the time before we get started on anything else, because I do not want to overlook the women's team. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to skip past all the highlights except for one. The LSU women's basketball team was hosting Missouri yesterday. I got the chance to produce this game. It was a complete shellacking. 108-55 is your final score. Malaysia Full-Wiley led the way for the Tigers. She had 5 3-pointers before making a 2-pointer. That's how ridiculous of a performance she had. She ended up with 6 3-pointers on the night. This was the last of them.
Right wing to Richard. Gets the screen. Richard for 3.
Sorry. That was Richard. I should have clarified. I need 4.3.
In the league, Johnson around a screen, out to Richard, left corner, Full-Wiley for her 6th 3. You can put it on the board.
How about that?
94-41, a Bengal Pest Products 3-pointer. Richard, her 6th assist.
LSU had 7 players in double figures, led by Malaysia Full-Wiley, who had 22. LSU also had 4 players double figures for rebounds, and they were led there by Zakai Johnson, who pulled down 14. Just ridiculous on their way to a 108-55 win. All right, 6:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. We're going to pivot, talk tariffs when we come back. We have got Jeremy Dalrymple from R Street joining us next. We need to call him.
Okay.
So, yeah. Let me go let my guests in for 6:50. Let me go let in. I'm literally going to let in the rodeo.
Ooh. Okay, so they have some clothes that's laid out on our bed already for them. I love it. I'm tired though. How are they doing? They sleepy, huh? Monkey bone. Oh, what about the clothes on Mom's bed? They didn't put that on? All right, they can wear it tomorrow. All right, let me let you go.
Yeah, help yourself if you'd like anything from over there. Oh. Good morning, Christy. Welcome in, Boo. Oh, the kids go back to school today.
They're not liking it. It's Thursday.
Well, whose fault is that?
Right. Mama's fault for letting them party on Mardi Gras break.
Just leave with me.
Talk 107.3 interview. Hello, good morning. It's this dang, every time you call somebody, though, if you record your number. Talk 107.3. Yes. Hey, Jeremy, we're going to be coming to you in about 2 minutes, okay? Okay. Same, Troy. My husband lived in Manhattan. When did he move up to Manhattan? In 1998, 99? And he was like naming these winter storms, these nor'easters. It was never a thing. If it was, nobody really talked about it. Now they have a name for it all.
Superstorm Sandy was the only one that was like really, really bad.
Yeah, but now they got names for all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the requirements to get a name? Oh, shit, I don't even know. Just exist.
No, they have similar requirements, just like a hurricane would. Like how a tropical storm minimum sustained winds of 35 miles an hour or 45 miles. Tropical depression 35, storms 45.
So they have to have so much wind, so much whatever associated.
Yeah.
To be able to. Okay.
2. I've got to do industry makes first. And we need to stay on time too, because they're going to need their time. So just way behind already. .637 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We're going to talk tariffs in exactly 60 seconds. First, I need to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes. Who are they? That's a good question. They are a combined effort of folks that are in manufacturing, in industry, in the plants up and down the river, to make sure that there's not misinformation about what they do or disinformation about who they are. Industry Makes is that combined voice for the folks who make everything we use in our lives, not just the gas that's in the cars, but the tires on the cars, the roads underneath the tires, the shoes on our feet, you name it, the medical products out there, you name it, they make it, and someone has to have the voice to speak up for them. That's what they do. In fact, if you want to learn how to be an ambassador, you could be an ambassador for them. They got an ambassador's toolkit right there at industrymakes.org. Industrymakes.org. Let everyone else make noise. Industry Makes will literally make everything else. All right, Supreme Court ruling came down last week about Donald Trump and the tariffs. We've seen significant fallout since then. Here to put it all in perspective and kind of spell it out for us is Jeremy Dalrymple from R Street. How are you, man?
I'm doing good this morning, Brian. How are you doing this morning?
Doing very well as well. If I'm not mistaken, last time you were on, we did determine that your last name, you're no relation to that main drag that runs through LSU's campus in Dalrymple Drive, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I thought we'd established that. I just wanted to make sure. So what did we learn about the Supreme Court ruling?
So I think one of the main takeaways here is that this really wasn't a revolutionary or like catastrophic ruling. This was kind of expected. The only unexpected part about it was how long it took the Supreme Court to actually hand this down. We had oral arguments at the very beginning of November, but it wasn't until February 20th that they actually came back and said, no, the president couldn't really do these tariffs under IEEPA. Then IEEPA is the International Emergency Economic Power Act. And so that was the main question here is, could he impose the Liberation Day tariffs under this law? And the court came back and just said simply no, couldn't do this. But as we saw under Kavanaugh, there's like 4 other different laws that the president could have used to put these tariffs in. And the president's already gone ahead and said, hey, I'm going to exercise my power under these other statutes.
So how is this not just a shell game? I know I'm skipping like 20 questions to get to that one, but I want to get to that. How is this not just a shell game?
It kind of is, but I think the main takeaway here is the courts are really defending Congress's prerogative. So we saw 3 of the conservative justices, Roberts, Gorsuch, and Barrett, they all dive into really the major questions doctrine here. And that was the main kind of takeaway here for that. So if your listeners are asking what's the major questions doctrine, it's basically a principle of statutory and judicial interpretation. So whenever you have like a major political question or a major economic question like this, it says Congress has to be very specific in what it does and how it delegates power. And if there's any ambiguity to it, it strikes it down. And so this is one of those things where Congress carries a lot of the blame for enacting a really vague law. This is just one of the many examples. But when it does this, it kind of leaves it up to the other two branches to iron out the details. And that's not the way the system's supposed to work. So I think the court did a very good thing in striking this down. It puts Congress on notice that if it wants to delegate these powers, which is done in 4 other statutes, it needs to do so explicitly.
Now, the president, in the wake of this, was saying it doesn't make sense because he could do so much worse. When you talk about the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, I mean, he can put sanctions on other countries that just completely shut trade down. I feel like he had a pretty good point when he said, why is it I could completely shut them down, but I can't just charge them a little more?
Because of the way the Constitution works. So the Constitution gives the power for taxes and, as we've determined, tariffs or, in fact, taxes exclusively to Congress. They are the people's representatives. Now, they can delegate that power, which they've done in some other instances. And so, as you saw during the president's announcement, he says, I'm immediately doing a 10% tariff across the board, which Congress explicitly allowed him to do. However, for these 4 other statutes, they all have guardrails on it. And that's why IEEPA, this is the first time it's ever been used like this. No other president has used IEEPA to institute tariffs before. And the president chose to do it this way. My guess is because it doesn't have the guardrails that the other statutes do. Like for the 10% tariff he just imposed, it expires in 150 days and unless Congress proactively reauthorizes it.
Okay, which, to me, that opens a more fair door. So basically what the Supreme Court's decision was, or what the Supreme Court was saying was, you're going to do what you're going to do. You just can't do it this way.
That's exactly it.
I mean, it feels like an oversimplification, but that's where it all comes down. We're talking with Jeremy Dalrymple. He's a associate director and a fellow for governance over at the R Street Institute. Jeremy, I want to talk about next steps here, because if the president's going to drop a 10 or 15% tariff for a certain number of days, how does that affect trade? How does that affect the way the markets are going to play? When you have a definitive deadline on something, I mean, are folks just going to wait it out and do things seasonally?
I think for this thing is what you're looking at is the stability and the knowns here. So if he's going over these other ones, particularly so he's doing the 10% under Section 232. These have all been well used before. As I said, IEEPA has never been used for tariffs. And so that introduced a lot of uncertainty into the market. This is something that's really known here. Now, one of the other things that's uncertain and the Supreme Court didn't touch upon is what happened to all the money that was collected from Liberation Day onwards under the IEEPA. And that answer is anyone's guess. I imagine that's going to be litigated for years to come. So if your listeners are expecting a check to come in the mail, it's not going to come anytime soon for that.
No, attorneys are going to get it, is the short answer to that one. I mean, when it's all said and done, it's going to be drained by an hourly basis. Not just the collections on what came through since the tariffs were first announced, but the adjustment in prices as well. We saw prices go up on a number of different items because of the expected short run or short supply on that end. Are we going to see a readjustment of prices because of the Supreme Court's ruling, or is it once something goes up, it stays?
I would like to say, hopefully, it's something that would be adjusted. But as we've seen in the past with these kind of things, once the industry has gained that additional amount, they kind of keep it that way.
Okay, yeah, I have very little faith that anything's going to drop back down again. We've got 2 minutes to go with Jeremy Dalrymple from R Street. I want to ask you about the future and how Congress can do a better job to shape the narrative or set the parameters here, because if taxes are the Congress's job, they need to do a better job of setting up the rules so that the president, look, you give him an ounce of ambiguity and he's going to take it, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the things we've seen with this administration is really their novel interpretation of statutes.
Yeah.
I'm sure law school students across the country are excited about the things that he's doing, because at first blush you go, I don't really think you can do this, but then you read the statute and you're like, no, that is a really interesting interpretation and I can buy into it. We saw that a lot when right after the government shut down and repaying the federal workers, there was a law that was passed that say it was automatic, and the administration said, not quite so fast. This imposes a mandate on there that's not an entitlement. That's not really listed anywhere else in law. So I don't think we can do this. And, at first I was like, particularly as a former congressional staffer, I was going, no, it should be automatic. And then I read their opinions and like, hey, this is actually a novel interpretation. I think you guys are right on it.
Do you have any faith that Congress will set better parameters for the future when it comes specifically to tariffs?
I would hope this is a wake-up call. Knowing Congress, I don't think so. Senator Lee and Senator Johnson have been using this as a reason to push, like, hey, we can't keep doing the ambiguous language here. I know as a staffer working on major legislation, sometimes it goes very quickly. I saw people literally using a pen to strike out words on the paper and submit that as the bill. And when things go so quickly, mistakes are made like that. And so you can leave in ambiguous language that leads to interpretations and giving more power than was intended.
In the meanwhile, we just get to duke it out and have better, more hearty conversations about said ambiguity. He's Jeremy Dalrymple with R Street. We always appreciate a couple minutes, man. Thank you so much for hopping on board.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Yep. At first glance, it's like, you can't do that. And then at second glance, it's like, well, maybe you can. We'll pick it up later. Got to break real quick. Come back. We're talking rodeos next. All right. Liberal Letlow. She's being bagged now by her fans to start responding. Congresswoman, you absolutely have to start running ads.
Well, yeah.
It's because this is a matter of repetition. How many times can you hear before you start to believe it?
It even had Scott going. She's not liberal. And I'm like, I know.
No, she's not. The whole precept is garbage. All right. Get this over here. There.
Ooh, I love the small Lysol.
Oh, me too.
It's like, oh, it's clean now.
I know. I like having to hand off that microphone every so often because I know how many people use that microphone, and I never clean it for myself.
Yeah, because screw us. We can go down,
That's right. What did I do with my notes for this interview? I had the whole press kit printed.
Did you leave it on your desk?
Oh, here it is.
Y'all want to start heading in?
No, I got him.
You go. Oh, he's coming to get you.
Come on in.
All right, Brian. Let's say I got the press. I sent it right back to you.
No, I have it. Morning. Come on
This
in.
is James.
James, good to meet you. Pronounce your last name for me. Trewick. Okay.
Hi, Kennedy.
Kennedy.
The
Yes.
rest of us are just extra.
Okay.
Brian, where you want us?
Can we come back in here?
These two right here. Absolutely, Ken. Yes, encouraged.
These two?
These two, and I'll be on the other side. Sorry. So this is April 10th through 12th in the Superdome, right?
That's it.
Sir.
About 2 minutes before we're up, or 3 minutes before we're up.
April 10, 11, and 12. We've got 3 days, 6 bands, $1 million purse, the best in rodeo.
Nice. He's ready.
A long couple of days, but worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I've never been to a rodeo before, so I'm
Ever?
pretty novice. Yeah.
Well, this is a good way to break the ice.
I was gonna say this is like going to the Super Bowl for your first football game.
Which I did for the first time this year.
You went to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No kidding.
And the kids love it. Yeah.
Wild. How close is this going to be? We're good right there?
It all depends on how much you're projecting.
We'll go
So,
louder.
yeah.
I'll go louder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be good right there.
Okay.
Your money now. Sorry, I want to make sure I got through the headphones there.
No, that's okay. I can actually hear all of it.
I wanted to make a Jay-Z Wentworth joke. but
Yeah, Jay, I was singing that this weekend.
I didn't know if we were what we were.
And the JG Whitworth.
877 cash now.
They have a meme on TikTok, y'all, that says like my brain at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it's like this
So
JG
true.
Whitworth.
Yeah, the high points, Brian, are just the world's best rodeo athletes, $1 million purse, first time ever in Louisiana, biggest rodeo ever in Louisiana. It's history.
Okay.
$1 million purse.
Okay.
Someone has a really good weekend, they could walk with just over $100,000. 6 bands, 3 days. Come eat some crawfish in Champion Square. The street fest is free to the public. We're gonna have mutton busting out there for the kids. Sheep
Okay.
riding.
Yes.
It's a hoot. It's a hoot. And there are some world champion Louisiana native cowboys and cowgirls coming.
Oh.
Yeah. Shane Henschey's a world champion tie down roper, and he's going to be there. Sorry.
You good?
We're good. I'm just putting
Give
it
it
on.
10 seconds.
Try it free. You can't hear yourself.
Oh, that was on my end. I hit it with my laptop.
I'm like,
Sorry.
Brian.
That's me.
Normally I mess up.
6:52. Now, no, I don't hear me. There we go. 6:52. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. So we got something big coming right down the road to the Caesars Superdome, April 10th through 12th. It's called the Hondo Rodeo Fest. This is a $1 million rodeo. This is the biggest rodeo to come to Louisiana. James Trawick is the CEO of the Hondo Rodeo, and Kennedy Riggs is the sideline reporter, I guess is the best way to describe your role. Welcome aboard. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Thank you.
Let's get them on too.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Glad to have you in here. Okay, let's start with the event itself. The Hondo Rodeo Fest. You're talking rodeo and concert here. What
That's
brought
right.
all this together?
Yeah. Myself and my co-founder, we kind of came from both worlds. I was rodeo, he was music. We kind of brought all the things together for the Hondo. And when you come to our show, it is truly the convergence of music and the sport of rodeo. Think like the Super Bowl, the World Series from the rodeo's perspective.
Mhm.
It's the best 8 in each discipline competing for their piece of that $1 million purse.
Okay.
And then bands like Jason Aldean, Cody Johnson, Creed. We've got a little bit of rock and roll baked in there. So it's a
Okay.
great time.
Okay. When you talk about the best in their discipline, what kind of disciplines are there?
Full spectrum rodeo, everything from team roping, steer wrestling, bareback, saddle bronc, bull riding, tie down, breakaway roping, everything. You think about rodeo, a lot of people just think bull riding, right?
Yeah.
But this is everything. There's something for everybody.
Okay, I'm sure, I don't want to give it away here. I'm not a rodeo guy. Never people say the same, my first rodeo, this would be my first rodeo.
Be a great place to start, man.
Let's start right there for the novice who shows up, because you're putting something in the Superdome. That's a lot of butts and seats. You're going to fill a whole lot of seats right there. When you have the kind of marquee that y'all have, when you've got the kind of names on the music end that you've got, you're going to draw in a lot of folks who might not know what to expect. Walk me through the experience. You know what, Kennedy? Walk me through the experience.
Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to sports, rodeo, I have to start by saying, is the last sport that's derived from a lifestyle still alive and thriving today. So that in itself is very unique. But the other unique part of it is with the Hondo Rodeo Fest specifically, like James said earlier, there's something for everyone. So no matter what age you are, no matter what demographic you come from or background, upbringing, whatever it be, there's something for you to enjoy. So when you go and sit down for the rodeo specifically, like James said, we have full spectrum rodeo. So every single event is going to be a part of the Hondo Rodeo Fest.
Mhm.
That means we like to say that we'll sell you the whole seat. You're only going to use the edge of it because you're right up close to literally some of these cowboys and cowgirls coming inches between life and death.
Mhm.
You know, when you talk about the bull riding, it's adrenaline pumping. And then you have the girls in the barrel racing where you are screaming your head off because you're cheering for that one cowgirl to run it home and win hopefully $100,000 even that weekend. So when it comes to the rodeo, that's what you can expect. And then you stay in your seat, maybe get some good food at the Superdome, and then you're there for the best musical experience you can have. So it's literally all encompassing the best experience you could have no matter where you come from or who you are.
So a lot of folks in town are more familiar with our prison rodeo. The Angola prison rodeo is a pretty big one as far as I know. And a lot of folks make their way up to that. Comparison wise, are we talking about the difference between AA ball and Major League ball, or is it even a wider spectrum?
Pretty wide spectrum there. I've actually got to take in my first Angola rodeo this year, and it is really incredible what they're doing out there. And this is the most elite. The best way I know how to describe this is just look at the Super Bowl, look at the World Series, look at the most elite level of play. Think the majors in golf, right? Like these guys and girls that are competing in the sport of rodeo, we have distilled it down through our invitational format to the best 8 in the world, right? There's thousands of people competing in our game, and we've handpicked the best 8. And so every single ride, every single run, like Kennedy said, you're going to buy the whole seat, but you're only going to use the front half because every single run is the best in the world.
When you talk about the best in the world, how do you go about finding them? Right. I mean, I'm sure there's like rankings across the board, but I'm sure there's also more than one outfit that does that.
Yeah, there's the PRCA, there's the PBR for bull riding specifically, but the PRCA is the oldest sanctioning body within the sport of rodeo. And so we look at historical standings, right? These guys and gals are going to either be previous world champions or maybe they've qualified for the national finals rodeo many times. And what we're looking for is the veterans, the pros that can handle the spotlight, that can handle the stage. I mean, the Superdome is massive, right? You think about being in that facility, horseback, competing for your piece of $1 million purse. Not only do you have to be on your game, but you have to bring animals that help you compete, whether it's barrel racing or team roping, right? That can handle that pressure.
Wait, they bring their own animals?
They do.
Okay. Now I'm learning here. Now I'm learning. Like this is. Like in the home run derby, you bring your own pitcher. I mean, that's kind of the same thing there.
Kind of. I mean, in timed events, right? You've got team roping, tie down, steer wrestling, barrel racing, all of those events. You're going to bring your own horse. You've trained this horse. You have a relationship with this horse.
Yeah.
You are dialed in when you show up to compete. In the rough stock, we as the contractors bring those animals, right? So if it's bull riding, bareback, saddle bronc, those animals are being provided to those guys that are competing. And so a fun fact for the novice out there, half of the score actually comes from that animal in the rough stock events. Half of the score comes from the athlete, the human athlete. And so the judges are looking at the actual performance of the animal athlete in comparison to the control and the style that the human athlete has for the 8-second ride.
Right. But like a dancing partner, you can't actually like physically talk to or lead, which actually brings me around to sideline reporting for this. How inside the action are you?
Literally as inside as you can get. I'm as close as I can get to the arena. The cool thing is I'm very lucky to have grown up in this. And so this is my bread and butter, but it's neat because I get to be on the dirt. I see it up close and personal. If someone's getting trampled by a bull, I'm watching it, right? But it's fun because a lot of these guys have good stories, and that's what
you use the word fun where I would have used horrifying. Okay.
Usually ends up pretty well because we have an ambulance on site. We have the bullfighters that are there to protect our cowboys. But here's the thing. We know how to do this. This is not our first rodeo. And so when you bring the Super Bowl to the Superdome of rodeo, we have everything. We have a well-oiled machine. But
you mentioned James Treywick and Kennedy Riggs are our guests for literally one more minute. You mentioned we do have some Louisiana folks in this.
That's right. We call him the king of the Cajun Cowboys. Shane Hanchy's a multi-world time tie-down roper. He'll be there. Kate Saunier, also from Acadiana. We've got Tyler Wagaspack. We've got Jesse Connor. And I'm going to forget some others. Who am I forgetting?
No, you.
Yeah, that's it. So they're all coming from and representing the state of Louisiana. So you guys better come cheer them on.
30 seconds left. Where can folks go for tickets?
The HondoRodeoFest.com is where you can find everything for tickets, VIP upgrades, premium experiences. All the information is there for all 6 bands: Cody Johnson, Old Dominion, Jason Aldean, Leonard Skinner, Creed, and Bailey Zimmerman inside the dome with the world's best rodeo talent.
James, Kennedy, thank you all so much for a couple minutes this morning.
Thank you. Way to rattle it off.
Thank you.
Squeezed in the band. I thought I was going to have to do it like rapid fire, but like that was awesome. Very well done, y'all.
Thank you.
And I appreciate y'all coming in a couple minutes earlier than your schedule where you were planning on being out. But like as a news talk show, I was booked out and I was on the fence, but
Brian, we should get you out to the rodeo.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
Come on, we got tickets. Listen, the sport itself, historically speaking, has been behind the times. What we're doing is
trying to revolutionize, right? Like the NFR, right? The fact that you don't even know what that is. It's literally the Super Bowl of rodeo that happens at the end of the year. So what we're doing is we're packaging that experience and taking it on the road.
Okay. Well, like, I mean, growing up down here, like I had friends that were bull riders, like high school friends were bull riders. So like knew a little bit, but just that was not my bag to begin with. So
Now it is, huh?
but yeah, maybe.
So I want our tire station.
I do want to get down there. I think it'll be, if for nothing else, be some awesome content.
Absolutely. We'll get you set up with some interviews with the athletes if you want to do that.
As we get closer, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or even at the show.
Where are you from?
Florida, 20 years in Texas. I live in Alabama now. Just
Okay.
moved back.
Well, good job on Sonia.
Yeah.
That's a solid Louisiana name.
Yeah.
Sony Air is what it looks like when you read it. But I butchered it a couple times before I got it. I
I'm
promise you
sure.
that.
And Waggisback's another one that's very Louisiana, but that's not tough to pronounce.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Brian, thank you so
Oh,
much.
my pleasure.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Glad you'll stop by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything.
Yes, we'll do a follow up with, like you said, a couple of the athletes as we get closer, and then see if we can't go down there. Like I was telling them, I'll go down and make content. You know,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
if I fall in love, even the better.
Yeah, we can do call-ins with the athletes.
That's perfect. Good deal.
Okay.
Brian, can you get us on local? Let me go grab her my card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still in ABC, but we're about to get to the local spot.
The shit that I do with my phone.
My box. I'm like, where did I put it? Hands down. Hands down. Hands down. Yes. Y'all have a good day, y'all. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm
Good
sorry,
stuff.
guys. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm gonna leave this back in here, but so nobody takes them, I'm putting them up here. Because people like to steal up in here. $7:05.
Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. We are at 38 degrees to start off the 7 o'clock hour in downtown Baton Rouge as we broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. 180 Pros, not your IT provider, your IT partner. Learn more at 180pros.com. Busy hour this hour. We've got Medical Monday coming your way about 10 minutes from right now. We've got Patrick Robinson from LABI going to join us at 7:35. Looking forward to this conversation. Patrick's milieu is workers' comp. So as we start our discussions about what's to come in the legislative session, let's start there. Package of bills looking to make their way across. How will they affect you as a business owner? How do they affect you as a taxpayer? That's what we're talking about with Patrick at 7:35. Also, we got Moral Dilemma Monday coming up at the end of this hour. Right now, though, actually, before we get to top stories and trending, Bree Lynn, that last segment, I was on a stretch to I don't know rodeo. I don't know this at all.
It is so fun.
But
rodeo?
Yeah, but for this audience, for this format, I feel like this was the right call because it's going to be a huge impact in the Superdome.
And that's what I thought. Originally when they reached out to Jimmy, he is on our sister station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Yeah.
They were pushing the fact that they have these artists, Kojo, Cody Johnson, yes, etc. All these artists. But I looked at it, so much revenue. You're going to have people coming in from all of our sister states, people from all over to be a part. This is going to be huge.
Right. And
it's going to bring income to New Orleans in the state.
Right. Yes. And I know income from New Orleans isn't necessarily for Baton Rouge, but my point of it is it's another headline event within the state.
Right.
That which is good for the state. The rising tide lifts all boats, right?
That was a well-done interview.
Oh, thank you. They were awesome, by the way. So open door whenever they want to come back. Right now, top stories and trending. Let's get it. Tomorrow evening at Glen Oaks High, the City Parish and Move EBR program management team will host a public open house for the Mickens Road Hooper to Jor project. Alternatives to improve traffic flow along Mickens Road have been evaluated and a final design has been selected. During the meeting, the public will be able to review conceptual images of the proposed improvements and ask questions of the project team. Got to ask you, though, post up on our Facebook Live feed, how badly needed is traffic improvement on Mickens Road? It's not part of my everyday commute, so I just plead ignorance here. If you take Mickens and you get jammed up, let us know over on Facebook Live. Number 4, LED has a big announcement coming up today in Shreveport. Whatever's coming will be unveiled at the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium at 1 p.m. The press release on the announcement came out Friday. Now, while we don't know what's being announced, we do know the governor is joining Secretary Bourgeois and local officials to make the announcement. I have a feeling this is going to be a big one. A red flag warning is in effect across the Capital Region until 6 p.m. this evening. Baton Rouge Fire Department is reminding residents that open burning in the parish is illegal without a permit. If you live in a parish where outdoor burning is allowed, it is recommended you do not do so during the red flag warning. This includes burning leaves, trash, or starting fire pits outdoors. We did see a lot of brush fires along I-12 down in St. Tammany Parish yesterday, which is amazing because just the day before, it was raining on that exact same spot. So that should tell you something about the level of alert with a red flag warning. 1 person was killed, 2 were injured in an industrial accident at a Belrose plant yesterday, according to the Assumption Parish Office of Emergency Preparedness Director Paul LeBlanc. LeBlanc said a crew was doing a routine pressure test on a brine well at the GIE plant off Grand Bayou Road when the equipment failed. A loose hose struck 3 people, killing 1. 2 others were taken to the hospital by AirMed. Make it 20. 2 more deaths were confirmed at the Lane Hunt Correctional Center over the past week, the Department of Corrections said. Gerald Thompson died on February 15th. Walter Wiley died on February 20th. Causes are undetermined. An autopsy has been ordered for each. And if I am counting right, and I hope I'm not miscounting this because I would hate to have the number wrong here, but if I'm counting right, that's 20 deaths since September of last year. What you got, Breland?
Well, the U.S. Secret Service said on Sunday its agent shot and killed a man in his 20s after he unlawfully entered a secure perimeter at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
I mean, went to Mar-a-Lago
with a gun.
With the gun, which, look, it's Florida and guns. I mean, I just assume everybody in Florida is strapped. So,
I would assume so. But
when you're trying to get past the perimeter at Mar-a-Lago, that's kind of a no-no.
Well, he would have gotten in trouble regardless, even being without a gun, trying to hop over the fence. But when you have this whole full-blown gun, somebody's going to take you down.
Yeah. Now, you can't call it an assassination attempt because nobody fired a bullet.
Right.
Or at least the accused never fired a bullet. The person, I mean, he was put down promptly.
It's very, we know what his motive was. I mean, anyways.
So I want to ask this question over on Facebook Live. Are you surprised this doesn't happen more often? With the level of vitriol, the level of everybody is at each other's throats, with the level of rhetoric out there, are you surprised? I'm shocked this doesn't happen daily.
I agree.
I'm like, literally, when you see this screaming, like, I don't want to get down the whole left versus right or right versus left, Trump derangement syndrome avenue here. But when you look at the number of people who are at a fever pitch about this president, about this administration, when you look at the number of times you hear fascist and Nazi overall, I'm legitimately surprised this doesn't happen daily. It's to the point now where, think of the mindset behind it, okay? If you truly believe that Donald Trump is the end of democracy, why wouldn't you walk down that path? If you truly believe in your heart of hearts that Donald Trump is the end of democracy, does it not surprise you that this isn't happening every day?
It would surprise me. I mean, not even with just Trump, but everybody is so rampant and just over the top with a fever pitch about whoever. They're very passionate now.
But
people are passionate.
He's the pinnacle of it. Donald Trump is the pinnacle of it. Everybody else is the normal hate. Okay.
Yeah.
But the back and forth about that man at that level is to a point where I've never seen it. I haven't seen it that bad in my lifetime. I don't know if it's ever been that bad. Well, obviously the nation's gone to war with itself before.
Right.
So, but that was at a time where you didn't have 24-hour access to everything.
Reagan?
No,
not even with him.
No. And well, I don't think so.
JFK?
Reagan sat down with Tip O'Neill to cut legislation. Like it was a lot more of a work together kind of time.
Okay.
All right. Yes, JFK was assassinated, and yes, Vietnam was very much a tear in our society, but we might be worse than that time right now.
Yeah, true. 35 million people from Maryland to Maine are under blizzard warnings, winter storm warnings that stand as far south as North Carolina. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the video footage from New York is insane. It's a lot. I like coming off the trip to DC for Washington Mardi Gras. I got to see the after effects of a blizzard rolling through. And then last year when we had our blizzard, I'm not envying them at all, because it's at least with our blizzard, like 2 days later, it was back up above 32. You know, at least with our blizzard, you can start thawing out a couple days later. You know, they're going to stay below 32 for some time
and freeze.
Yeah.
All right. So you may never brew coffee in your hotel room again now that a travel influencer has gone viral for how she does laundry on the go. She's admitted to putting underwear in the filter chamber of her in-room coffee maker to steam them clean. Gross.
So gross. So gross. I mean, I don't ever use the coffee maker in my hotel room. So I'm not in this mix right here. I'll wait till I get down the lobby and I just pour, right? Or the breakfast area or the restaurant area, whatever. I'm not a coffee maker in the hotel room kind of guy. It's just going to sit there. Normally, because I hate the brand of coffee, it's never a local brand. Like if I'm wherever I'm staying,
it's just some off-brand
in
a hotel room.
Right. Some Green Mountain garbage, whatever.
Green Mountain tastes like
draws, apparently.
Draws. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Could be. 7:15 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We're running long. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for Medical Monday next.
Renee, look, I wasn't abreast of his policies way back when. I'll be honest, I was born 1990. But I do know from what my parents told me, what I've read in history books, I go down, I watch a lot of documentaries. I'm big into politics. There were those who hated Reagan. They did. Like civil rights organizations, anti-war and peace advocates. Reagan was hated, but he was also very loved too.
Well, Donald Trump is hated and loved, but the middle ground seems to be less now. Or maybe it's just because the two sides have more of a platform to be loud.
That's very true. And yes, Lyndon B. Johnson did draw strong hatred during the Vietnam War. Yes.
Oh, I watched the movie.
Yeah.
I finally watched it over the weekend. LBJ. First of all, don't you dare make me sympathetic towards Lyndon B. Johnson.
I wasn't a LBJ fan. Mm-mm. I didn't live during that time, but what? Mm-mm.
No.
But Brian's right. I think the middle ground, it's drawing. There is none anymore. It's either you love them, really love them, or you hate them.
WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Heart Month rolling right along. That's what we're talking about every single week on our Medical Monday. Let's go ahead and hit that now. It is Heart Month. Time to focus on heart health and the simple actions that can save lives. Cardiac arrest can happen at any time, anywhere, and often when we least expect it. We are joined by Dr. Federico Dupuy with FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, of course, to talk about CPR, why it's critical, how easy it is to learn, and what every family should know in order to be prepared for an emergency. Dr. Dupuy joins us right now. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing well.
Glad to have you on here. Glad to be talking about this because I feel like when we talk about heart health, we talk about like bigger picture things like what leads to heart disease and bad habits along the way. And we skip past what, ought to be paramount for all of us. And that is how to respond in the case of an emergency. So let's talk about it. Why is CPR such an important focus this time of year?
CPR is something that people don't think about too often, but it's an important life-saving skill. As we'll talk about in a few minutes, those first few minutes of someone losing their pulse or their heart stopping, CPR can make an enormous difference in saving someone's life.
We know how important time is right there, and you will delve into that in a little bit. But it is unbelievably important. Let's talk about cardiac arrest outside of a hospital. How common is it? Where does it usually happen?
About 350,000 cardiac arrests happen each year, 9,000 of which are children. The majority of it happens outside 23,000 of it being children. That's a high amount.
Yeah.
And the majority of these happen in the home, believe it or not.
Why that would stand to reason because it's probably where we are the most. So, I would believe that on that end. The number of children though is shockingly high. Do we know why?
The children are more vulnerable. You think about illnesses, respiratory illnesses, choking, that sort of stuff can happen. And obviously, we always have to have an eye on our children more than adults. And that's why I think CPR is so important because they're some of our most vulnerable members of society. And that's why things simple as CPR can really save a life and make a difference.
We're talking with Dr. Federico Dupuy. This is Medical Monday presented by the folks over at Our Lady of the Lake. As Heart Month rolls on, we're talking about different heart-related issues, and CPR would definitely be one of those. So when someone suddenly collapses from cardiac arrest, let's talk about what's happening in those first few critical minutes.
Yes. So immediately when someone loses a pulse, it essentially means that their heart has ceased to squeeze or pump blood effectively to the whole body. So one of the most important organs in the body is the brain, and obviously the heart. I'm a little biased since I'm a cardiologist. I think that the heart's the most important organ in the body. But these two organs in particular really need oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to do their job. And whenever they're deprived of that within the first few minutes, important tissue starts dying. We have a saying in cardiology, saying in medicine, that muscle is minutes, and each one of those minutes matter. Is each minute that those heart cells and brain cells don't get blood flow, they are dying irreversibly, and irreversible damage is happening.
When you talk about minutes, I mean, we're talking like 3 or 4 minutes, or are we talking like 10 to 15? Scale this out for us.
So 3 or 4 minutes actually makes a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
There's some studies that tell us that each minute that CPR is delayed sort of doubles or triples or even higher your chances of not recovering.
Wow.
To give you an idea of just how sensitive these organs are to not having oxygen or blood flow.
Unbelievable. I mean, we talk about all the time about how time is specifically when we're talking about stroke, we talk about time being of the essence completely. But I mean, the same rules would apply for any time the heart stops beating.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And again, I don't mean to overemphasize the point, but minutes really do matter. You know, there's sometimes a lot of delay, a lot of scariness, you know, and fear about starting CPR or you know, what to do. It's obviously whenever you see your loved one collapse, it's tragic, it's traumatizing, and you sort of want to freeze in fear. And that's kind of part of the emphasis on CPR this month, to overcome that fear and to sort of jump into action before it's too late.
Well, we talked about the emphasis on time from the time end. Let's talk about it from the CPR end. Why can immediate CPR double or even triple someone's chances of survival?
So whenever you do CPR, essentially what you're doing is you're taking the place of the heart. Whenever you compress the chest, you're pushing the heart and sort of forcing blood out throughout the rest of the body. So sometimes we see in the hospital, we can measure the blood pressure real time. And if there's a cardiac arrest within the hospital, I'll see our colleagues doing CPR, and you see the blood pressure on our live monitoring being just like normal. So CPR, you're essentially replicating what the heart is doing. That's why it's so important. You're taking the job of the heart, giving it some time to recover until EMS arrives and maybe the patient recovers on their own.
So, just to kind of follow up on that, if you're not seeing like immediate results, I mean, persistence is key, right?
That's exactly right. I'll give you a little personal story. So whenever I was in my medical training, a resident, one of my colleagues is actually one of my good friends of mine. He was playing basketball. He had sudden cardiac arrest. Very tragic. You know, he's very, very much in shape. And some bystanders immediately started CPR on him. And in this particular case, he was in his 20s. They did CPR, shocked his heart several times, I think for over 30 minutes. Those actions, heroic actions, ultimately saved his life. And now he's an interventional cardiologist in Dallas. So persistence is key.
Wow, unbelievable. All right, so let's continue down this path here, working on the CPR. And for someone listening who's never taken a CPR class, what exactly is hands-only CPR?
Sure. So one of the fears we may have is on some bystander or some stranger or someone we don't know, is whenever many people think of CPR, they think of mouth to mouth. That's one of the first things that comes to mind, right? Well, the American Heart Association wants to emphasize that it's not necessarily mouth to mouth that's the most important thing. arguably the most important part of CPR is chest compression.
Right.
So if you're worried about doing mouth to mouth, then just don't worry about doing it. You just put your hands on the patient's chest and start pushing.
We're talking with Dr. Federico Dupuy about CPR as this Heart Month continues to roll on. This is, of course, Medical Monday presented by the folks over at Our Lady of the Lake. So hands-only CPR, as I understand, it's actually pretty simple. Walk me through the 2 simple steps.
Sure. So first and most importantly, call 911. Easy step. That way you know help is on the way. Yeah. And then secondly, push hard and push fast. So during some of our CPR training, they actually encourage you to think of a song as you're pushing on the chest. One of the most common ones is Staying Alive, oh, 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 Staying Alive. And you sing a hymn like that to sort of give an idea of the beat that you need to push at. And that's something very simple just to guide you. Put someone's on your hands on their chest, start pushing, and just push to a beat regularly and consistently.
And so regularly and consistently, you were making the point earlier about, sustaining it for a longer period of time. Walk me through, because if you're not seeing immediate results, that doesn't mean nothing's happening.
That's exactly right. Because what you're doing during this time, even though, let's say the heart has not restarted or turned back yet, you're still providing blood flow to the brain. So you're essentially helping them maintain that patient's survival and ensuring the blood is still getting to the brain. And to give you the example of my friend who had cardiac arrest while playing basketball, those consistent 30 minutes or more of CPR maintained his brain. And that's what ultimately allowed him just to keep on his life and allowed him to carry out a normal life, because someone consistently performs CPR for those 30 minutes or more.
Now let's talk about the possible hesitancy here. You mentioned the mouth to mouth for someone I honestly think if that's, well, I'm not going to editorialize, but I think a greater hesitancy might be, I don't want to do something because I might do something wrong. What would you say to the person who, has not stepped up, has not stepped in for fear of getting it wrong?
That's a very good question. So just know that you can never hurt someone more than whenever their heart is stopped. Doing nothing is terrible. Doing something is better than doing nothing.
Right.
And you're never going to hurt someone any more than they already are. If you do nothing, they're absolutely going to die. If you do something, you've increased their chances of survival. And again, time is of the essence. Call 911 and start pushing and push fast.
We've got just about 2.5 minutes left with Dr. Federico Dupuy from Our Lady of the Lake talking about CPR. I've got 2 questions left within these last 2 minutes, Doc. Let's talk about, before we talk about heart health, I want to talk about CPR training. How long is the class? How often are they offered? Where are they offered?
Good question. So they have formal ACLS and BLS classes, which stands for Basic Life Support. But also, much more simply, we have classes online. You go to heart.org, and they can provide several training resources. There are 60-second videos that can show you the basics. And again, this is someone who's at home, simple and easy to watch. You can do it on spare time while you're eating lunch or eating a snack. And the implications of learning something like this can be so, so great. Again, you can save someone's life, like my good friend who was saved while he was playing basketball.
Last one before we get you out of here, and that is talk about being proactive about your heart health. Where can folks go to schedule an appointment to talk about their own personal risk and kind of learn where they're at?
Absolutely. So go on to your website, your health system of choice. Obviously, I work with the Lake. Log in and into your browser, search for Our Lady of the Lake Health, search for cardiologist, and search up whatever cardiologist you want, and pick out the person that's right for you. Talk to your primary care provider and see who they would recommend, and just go and be proactive and get the first steps going.
He is Dr. Federico Dupuy. You have been listening to Medical Monday presented by Our Lady of the Lake. Dr. Dupuy, greatly appreciate a couple minutes this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We're coming up on 7. We're at 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. We are coming up on news. We'll start off nationally with ABC. Then we'll check our local news, traffic, weather. When we come back from this break, Patrick Robinson from LABI is going to hop on board. Just leave with me now, say the word and we'll go. I'll be the teacher, I'll show you the ropes.
When are we supposed to be done with BREC Room? Through May?
Yeah. Are we on Facebook right now?
And I agree, Keith. He's like, there is no we in America anymore. It's us against them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's gross. It's not about whether or not you're smart. It's about whether or not you have the humility to defer to someone else who's smarter than you.
I'm not smart.
We try to get Hondo to buy a buy with it, but
I don't think they're going to need to. And well, their buys should be down in New Orleans.
I know. Jimmy was like, can we get them to do a small buy on Tiger to where we can give away tickets? But it's fine. It is what it is. They're not going to need to. People are going to come from all over. He's like, I'm going to get my hands on Kojo tickets. I said, me too. But I don't think they're going to need a place to buy.
Well, I want free tickets. I guess to be asking.
I think she's going to give it to us. You and I both, if we want to go. She was like, I'll give it to y'all.
Well, I need 2 for a friend.
I think I would want to take the babies to it. I've been to rodeos. They've never been.
.736 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We're talking with LABI in exactly 60 seconds. I need to remind you about the folks over at Neurojust, Neurojust, neurojust.com. Who are they? What do they do? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. They specialize in treating anxiety and depression, especially for those who have been treatment resistant. If you battle with anxiety or depression and you don't like the way you feel on the meds, on the antidepressants, if you don't like the side effects, if you're seeing diminishing returns, you just don't like them, give Neurojust a look. They specialize in transcranial magnetic stimulation, which is essentially, I love the way Jordan from Neurojust puts this, it's essentially physical therapy for the brain. Yeah, you can take pills to kill pain in your knee, but if you go to physical therapy, you can actually correct and heal your knee. That same thing's true with your brain. Transcranial magnetic stimulation focuses on the portions of the brain that affect mood. You go in for a number of different sessions, like 3 dozen or so, and over time, those rough seas start to calm and calm and calm until it's just smooth sailing. I've seen the results. They are fantastic. If you want to learn more, visit neurojust.com. I will give you this reminder as well. Insurance will pick up the tab. Neurojust.com. All right, time to talk with our good friends at the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. Time to talk workers' comp with Patrick Robinson. How are you, man?
I'm good, Brian. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well as well. Today officially kicks off the countdown to legislative session here on Talk 107.3 FM. So I appreciate you batting lead off as far as what the workers' comp agenda is going to look like.
Yeah, my pleasure. It seemed like, we were at Christmas not long ago, and the session was far away, and now all of a sudden it's right on us. So we're looking forward to it. Really excited to be prepping for it.
Yep, less than a month to go. So what are we looking for? What are we looking at?
Well, on the workers' comp front in particular, workers' comp is one of those issues that has gone to the labor committees repeatedly over the last couple of decades. Had a lot of discussion, not a lot of change. And the problem that we have is the same problem that we've dealt with for, the last 10, 12, 15 years. And it's that we have the safest workplaces in the country, thanks to our employers and our employees doing a great job on that front. But despite that, we still pay among the highest workers' comp premiums in the country as well. So put that in the context of auto accidents. If you had fewer accidents than everybody else, but you were paying higher auto insurance premiums, you kind of wonder why that was. And that's the problem that we're dealing with in Louisiana.
I mean, well, essentially it boils down to just a fight between insurers and healthcare providers, does it not?
To a certain extent, yeah. It's not just that. There's a lot of litigation involved. There are problems with the statute. There are confusing issues that really healthcare providers and insurance companies and payers are not sure what the answer is. So because of that, that leads to disputes and litigation. So it's a multifaceted problem, but certainly that has led the discussion that knocking heads between insurance companies and healthcare providers has been a problem for years.
What are a few of the other ones, other problems that are out there aside from that? I mean, if that's part of the problem, then spell out the rest of it so we can, get a look at what the playing field needs before we start to put players on it.
Yeah, if you look at it, we've seen the last 2 sessions, the legislature really take on insurance problems and high insurance rates. And you've heard my boss, Will Green, talked about jackpot justice.
Oh, yeah.
That same jackpot justice mentality, it's not just limited to tort issues and car accidents and slip and falls. That bleeds over into workers' comp, just like it affects other areas of the law. You look at the numbers. I told you we're the safest state. But the problem is that when you do have an accident in the workplace in Louisiana and you get into the workers' comp system, on that end, we are terrible. We are among the worst systems in the country. You look at the recent numbers. There's an organization called the National Council on Compensation Insurance, NCCI. And it's the organization that sets the insurance rates or recommends the insurance rates for Louisiana and about 35 other states on workers' comp. And they put out numbers every year. And every year, when you look at how much we pay in disability benefits on workers' comp, how much we pay in medical benefits, we are higher than every other state in the South, and really by a significant number. They sent me the most recent slides a couple of weeks ago, and you compare the numbers for how much Louisiana pays for disability benefits per claim, and we are almost twice as high as every other state in our region. Same thing on the medical front, not quite as bad, but still significantly higher on the medical claim, the dollars we're paying for medical benefits per claim than every other state in the region. And what that does is, if you're a business operating in Louisiana, well, that raises your costs. It takes money that you could be providing for payroll, for facilities, for lower prices, and redirects that to workers' comp. If you're a business looking to come into Louisiana, you compare, am I going to do better off in Mississippi, Texas, Arkansas? Maybe so. That's a factor that you consider. So it's just a problem that impacts our business climate and something we can and should be working on.
Okay, so, and I might be oversimplifying this. By the way, Patrick Robinson from LABI is our guest. I might be oversimplifying this, but I'm hearing a lot of parallels to the car insurance in this regard. If you got a worker claiming disability, that means they've hurt themselves. So we have a higher frequency of people, quote unquote, hurting themselves, like we do when it comes to car wrecks.
Actually, it's exactly the opposite.
Really?
We have a lower frequency of workplace accidents. The problem is,
but we have higher claims.
Well, we pay more in claims. So when you're talking about dollars per claim, how much you're paying, when somebody gets hurt in Louisiana, you compare them to other states, they're out of work almost twice as long as in other states. When you compare their medical care, they're paying almost, the employer or the insurer is paying almost twice as much in medical costs as the same people in other states. So that's where our problem is. It's not on our frequency. We do great on frequency. We have safe places to work. But when you get into our system, it's so bad that it outbalances all of that and makes our premiums go way up. The issue that we've seen is that workers' comp as an industry, as a line of insurance over the last 15, 20 years, there's a national trend that premiums are going down. So premiums have gone down in Louisiana. The problem is our premiums don't go down near as fast as in other states. So while all these other states have been going down significantly, we've gone down some, but not as much as they have. And it leaves us paying significantly more. Our employers paying significantly more.
Okay, then let me swing and miss again here, Patrick. So what you're saying is we don't get injured as frequently, but when we do get injured, we're hurt for longer?
Correct.
Okay.
And it shouldn't be that way. You've seen that, people in Louisiana, I think Commissioner Temple has said this, people in Louisiana they don't have more brittle bones. They're not more sickly. There's none of that. It's just that our system produces poorer results and costs us more.
Is there anything that spells out that people stay hurt because they can get paid to stay hurt?
There are national studies that look at that. There are things that if you take the exact same injury and you put it in the context of an automobile accident versus a workers' comp accident, for reasons that you can venture guesses at, the workers' comp injury takes longer to heal, even though, in a vacuum, it's the same injury. Some of that's because of the way the system is set up. You do not get the pain and suffering kind of damages in workers' comp. And so that may be something that pushes people to stay out of work longer. I will tell you in Louisiana, there's another organization called WCRI, it's the Workers' Comp Research Institute. And they, for many years, have studied Louisiana and compared us to other systems. And they note that one of the problems we have in Louisiana is we have a really litigation-heavy system. A lot of attorneys, a lot of disputes, higher attorney fees on both the defense side and the worker or the plaintiff side. And anytime anytime you're dealing with a lot of litigation, it's going to cause delays. It's going to keep people out of work longer. So that's another one of our problems that we have. And again, is that jackpot justice mentality.
Well, and I want to dive into the jackpot justice mentality in just a second, Patrick, but I do want to ask this as a follow-up, because I feel like this is a natural follow-up. Is the nature of our business different to where people could be hurt worse? Like, based off of the job that you're doing, could the injuries actually be more severe? Getting hurt on a rig would take longer to heal than a paper cut would. Is there something to that end of it?
Is there a difference in the industry mix? Certainly there is, Brian, to some extent. But you compare us to, say, Texas. Texas has a lot of the heavy labor as well. Right. Across the South. There are other states that have that. There's a study that comes out of Oregon every couple of years, and they try to balance for the industry mix to kind of even that out. And under that study, for many years, we have been in the top 10 in terms of highest insurance premiums for workers' comp. You look at it, and workers' comp is $1 billion a year written premium, more or less. And we are anywhere from 30 to 50% higher than the average. You take that off, you make us average, and you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that, instead of going to workers' comp insurance premiums, can be reinvested in the workplace, wages, facilities, lower costs, all of those things.
I got to ask, Patrick Robinson from LABI is our guest. We're talking workers' comp as we're getting ready for the upcoming legislative session. Patrick, I got to ask, what happens to the job while the person's laid up? If we're hurt for longer periods of time, what happens to the gig itself? I mean, does it just have to sit on hold, or, productivity-wise, who's filling the gap?
Well, ideally, what you're doing is you're getting somebody back to work quickly, and they go back and they resume their job. Mm-hmm. Certainly, that's a benefit to the employee. It's a benefit to the employer because they don't have to retrain somebody. All of those things are good. But you're right. When you have somebody that is out of work for an extended period of time, that job has to be filled. Right. And if the employee can't go back to do it with some level of modification, that job goes to somebody else. So there's always a possibility that you can lose a job if you're not able to go back to work because of your work injury, and then you're sitting out on workers' comp, and you have to be retrained for another job. You've got to do vocational rehabilitation. It becomes much more complex for everybody at that point.
Well, yeah, I would imagine from the business owner's end, or from the business's end, you've got one person who's laid up collecting disability, but they're not losing their benefits along the way. Meanwhile, you've still got to get things done, so you've got to fill that role in the meantime. So you're basically doubling payroll for that post.
Yes, subject to them being compensated through workers' comp benefits. Now, while they're getting the workers' comp benefits, they're not getting their salary. Mm-hmm. But certainly, if they're on the payroll, they may be getting benefits. There may be other costs out there.
Well, and just to kind of put it in perspective, I believe that I read that Louisiana workers out on workers' comp stay out for 30 plus weeks on average.
That's correct. And that comes from the WCRI study. Yeah. And that compares to something like 14, 15, 16 weeks in Texas, Arkansas, other states around us.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous. I mean, that's over 2/3 of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a substantially longer period than other states. It shouldn't be that way. And that's, the ones that benefit, the benefit for both the employer and the employee is if you get good medical care quickly, you get people healed, you get them back to work fast, mm-hmm. you close the claim, everybody goes on with their life, and that's the win-win for everybody, subject to the fact that we do have this litigation system that really drives a lot of these delays, mm-hmm. costs a lot of money, uses up a lot of resources, all those things that make our system perform poorly compared to other states.
Every time I get you on, I go down the rabbit hole because we're talking about fascinating stuff. Now we've got less than a minute to go. Well, we got just at a minute to go. What legislation are we on the lookout for this year, or are we just setting the table right now?
Well, we are talking with a couple of legislators about some bills that we anticipate will be filed to address some of that excessive litigation problem, to provide opportunities to resolve disputes faster without the big attorney's fees that kind of drive the cost up. Now, I'll tell you, the significant bill that the system is going to be looking at this session is something Brock Myers has been working on for the last several months, and that's Senator McMath formed a workers' comp task force, and Senator Myers is kind of taking the lead on that. There's a hearing today of that task force at the Capitol, and they're really looking into ways to make the workers' comp fee schedule better, to update a fee schedule that hadn't been updated for years, and to improve the delivery of medical benefits. And when you do that, Brian, when you get medical care delivered better, you get people healed faster and you get them back to work.
Okay. All right. Well, then I know where my follow-up is. Patrick McMath will be my next call. Brock Myers right after that. In the meanwhile, let's get you back on closer to session, or once session is underway, to get an update along the way.
Perfect. Sounds good. Brian, thank you as always.
Thank you. Talk to you soon. He's Patrick Robinson with the Louisiana Association of Business and Industry. All right. We're due up for a quick break. I want to talk patriotism on the back end. We will completely set the table then, but is patriotism dead if it has to be questionable? Moral Dilemma Mondays coming up next right here on Talk 107.3. Did they not have it? Move on. I would, yeah, go. I'll take the time back. We can't be held accountable for not running a spot that didn't air. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to email Cade right now. Your Money Now had a tone at 7:50. Why is Jason Derulo in my head? Huh. And actually, the song In My Head is in my head.
I love it. I love that rule. I just did. That's why, because I was editing. That was Jason Derulo.
No, I didn't hear. No, this has been in my head since I was in the shower this morning. Just leave with me now, say the word. So I've always been a big Jason Derulo fan for this reason. Went to see Lady Gaga in concert in New Orleans a long, long time ago. Okay. This was on her first Monster tour at the UNO Lakefront Arena. I think we were at UNO. It was either UNO or the Smoothie King Center, one of the two. I don't remember. Anyway, Jason Derulo was her opening act. After the show was over, as we're leaving, and yes, I'm a big Lady Gaga. I was a big Lady Gaga fan. She's getting back around to making good music again. She got weird for a minute now, but as we're making our way out of the arena, we literally ran into Jason Derulo. He was in the hallway outside taking selfies with fans because he was an unknown. His only song that was a hit at the time was that "Ooh, What You Say." That like. Yeah, well, I mean, that was pretty established, but like he did not have his second hit yet. And I remember when he was doing his set, when I heard In My Head, I'm like, that's his next number one. That's what's coming. That's a damn good song.
So that was year 2007, 2008.
Thereabouts. The spot that accompanies Your Money Now did not air at 7:50. I went. Well, because it's after 7:51, it's clear. There was a tone in its possessive place. Just wanted to give you a heads up. No action needed. $7:54, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We have got Moral Dilemma Monday coming your way right now. Let's hit it. All right. Do we still pledge allegiance to the flag 250 years in? That's the question. FCC chair Brendan Carr has made headlines for what he believes broadcasters should put on the air, and his latest suggestion comes wrapped in the flag. I'm grabbing this from the Inside Radio, one of those insider emails that we get, one of those business emails we get. Carr has suggested, or Carr has created the Pledge America campaign, in which the FCC is encouraging broadcasters to air content and public service announcements that support the Salute to America 250 Task Force efforts as the country approaches its semi-quintennial on July 4th. Looked at through this lens, it's gotten a lot of pushback from broadcasters saying, you don't tell us what to air. We are not state-run media. You don't tell us what to air. And he didn't tell anybody what to air. There's no requirement there. It was a suggestion. Hey, maybe plug in a little bit of this here, a little bit of that there. Well, this potential topic turned a little bit when the U.S. won the gold in hockey. Do you still have the soundbite queued up?
Let me see. I have the short soundbite.
Yeah, go
Is
for it.
that
This
fine?
was our guy who hit the winning goal.
Okay.
Jack, the first gold medal for the United States in 46 years, and you delivered it. Can you just describe the emotions of this moment right now?
This is all about our country right now. I love the USA. I love my teammates. It's unbelievable. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong, and we have so much support from ex-players. I'm so proud to be American today.
This was
So proud.
Right there. And he caught blowback. That was Jack Hughes, I believe is his name. Hit the winning goal. He caught blowback for that. And my question is, what does pro-America even mean anymore? Like, if you're going to catch blowback for saying I love the United States of America, hey, we're the only country that does this way.
Yeah.
Every other nation in the Olympics is allowed to show pride in where they come from, is allowed to wrap themselves in their flag. But for some reason, you're going to get pushback in this nation, and I don't understand it.
So is he supposed to say hate toward America and be celebrated because of it? The thing is you got to highlight the achievements. You got to talk about the messy moments. It is what is America.
No, okay, I'm with you. You do have to talk about the messy moments, but not all the time.
Correct.
Can we not take 5 seconds just to exhale and say, man, that was awesome? There's a lot to love here. One of the greatest things about our nation is the fact that the Constitution can be amended. We're the only one who put our laws out there written in pencil to say that we can erase and correct if we have to correct course. When you have leaders from all over the world, they make their laws, they enforce their laws. When we created our Constitution 250 years, well, just shy of 250 years ago, we said, hey, this is going to be a project. This is going to be an experiment. This is going to be a continual work in progress in order to form a more perfect union is the exact wording. A more perfect union, meaning perfection is not attainable. And yet somehow every time someone turns back around again, we have to point out the foibles and not the high points. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I know. And bottom line, too, that's not supposed to be how free press is supposed to work. I mean, if you're going to start dictating, it's like the government encourages specific types of content and they're being polite about it. So telling the media what to air, which makes people nervous. I'm nervous as a broadcaster, just in general, because that's not how free press is supposed to work.
I understand. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I want to air what they're pushing.
Yeah.
I want to celebrate 250 years of America. I am unapologetically proud of this country.
Me too.
Even with its worst spots.
Yep.
I don't hide from the worst spots. But at the same time, though, the great spots far outshine the worst spots.
Agreed.
So if you're wondering where the moral dilemma here is should we be apologizing for loving our nation? I mean, in this audience, it's probably a resounding no, you shouldn't apologize for it.
Right.
But you see the way things trend online. You see the way that the media reacts. You see the way that these things play when they go public. I don't know.
And I'll be honest, too, no matter who was president, I was still proud to be an American.
I completely agree. We got to get out of here. Here's news. Coming back for hour 3. You have a hearing aid? Really?
All the years, Jeanette, first and foremost, genetics. My dad can't hear what the crap, so he yells all the time. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right here. So that's a big joke, genetics. But I think all the years in radio and being around a lot, because I used to go to a lot of shows in top 40. And I would be on the stage with the speaker. Still do it, knowing damn well it's not good for my oh yeah. My left ear is worse than my right.
Interesting.
Slightly. But yeah, I need to be wearing my hearing aid. That's why sometimes when you talk to me, or lately, you'll ask me something, I'll respond with something completely different. You'll look at me. It's because I can't hear you. Now I can.
Okay. You're young to have a hearing aid.
I know. That's why they want me to come in at least once every 6 months. Because she's like, I want to monitor this. She's like, you're too young. She's like, I'm being honest. I'm like, I feel you.
I'm thinking Jeremy Dalrymple's going to be featured today.
The first one?
R Street guy. Yeah, he was really, really good. We have a Monday meeting today? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we do.
Thought so. I need to bang out 2 live reads in this segment. 8:06. Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. We have got ticked up to 40 degrees to start off your 8 o'clock hour as we broadcast live from the 180 Pros studio. 180pros.com. 180pros.com is the time for your IT to hit a 180. Visit 180pros.com. We have got a busy third hour, y'all. The BREC Room coming up at 8:35. Looking forward to that, as there's so much to talk about. We check in with our folks, our friends at BREC, for the last half hour of the Monday show every week. 8:15, Moon Griffon coming your way. We're going to start previewing the legislative session with Moon here in a little bit. Before we get you to this day in history, though, want to remind you about Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. LandmarkBankLA.com. Want to talk a little bit about history? How about history of being around for more than 100 years, focused on the same mission? Founded in 1897, August of 1897 to be exact. Founded in 1897 as a community bank. Here they are in 2026 as a community bank. Now they've added a few more communities to the list. If you want to learn more about that, visit landmarkbankla.com. Hit the About Us tab. You'll find locations there. But more to the point, remaining a part of the community has been their mission this entire time. When you bank with someone that you live in the same community with, you share the same grocery store with, you're in the same carpool with, it makes a difference because they're able to better realize your wants, needs, and desires when it comes to borrowing, when it comes to lending, when it comes to investing, when it comes to saving, when it comes to retirement, you name it, they've got you covered. LandmarkBankLA.com. All right, time for this day in history. Let's roll.
In 1836, the Battle of the Alamo begins.
Yeah.
Launching the 13-day siege in San Antonio.
Yeah. What's amazing about that is the Alamo is right in downtown San Antonio.
I remember, and don't they have a
Well, you're
huge
supposed to remember
monument?
the Alamo. Well, they've got the Alamo, the building itself, and a whole park around it. If you ever go to San Antonio, I highly recommend doing all the free stuff.
Man, I
do
need
not
to
pay to go in there. It is so underwhelming. It is tiny. No, it's like I've seen better places on House Hunters. It's like it's a walking tour, and your walk is basically like turning in a circle. It's so
because
stupid.
I wanted to do that when I went to San Antonio. Don't do it.
I would. It's worth it just so you can complain about it the rest of your life, because that's what I did. I'm complaining about it the rest of my life.
Okay, well, I'm not
so
going to do
stupid.
it. In 1861, Lincoln arrived secretly in Washington. Here, get this. I never knew this. President-elect Abraham Lincoln slips into the Capitol due to threats against his life before the inauguration. I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, they got him 4 years later.
I was going there, but yes.
Like, how does Abraham Lincoln sneak in anywhere?
I know. And ain't he tall?
What are you like? He was like 6'5", 6'6", something like that.
And tall and lanky.
Yeah, and then he had that giant hat on top of it.
Right.
So who's the dude in the hat?
Oh, that's just Abe.
No.
In 1896, the Tootsie Roll is introduced.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Wow.
In when?
1896. The Tootsie Roll was introduced.
That seems like a long time ago.
No way. I'm telling you, that's what pulled up in my while you're looking that up.
I would have sworn.
So you mean to tell me that Halloween candy since the 1800s, kiddos have been getting a Tootsie Roll in their basket since then?
Oh, the candy. Okay. I thought you meant the song by the 69 Boys.
Let me see that Tootsie Roll. No, not that one, Brian.
Okay.
1927.
Oh, that's so.
Let me see that Tootsie Roll. Okay. 1927. Louisiana moves toward the Great Flood response. Here's the deal. While the Great Mississippi Flood peaked later, February 23rd marks the date that the federal engineers delivered early warnings about the coming disaster.
Okay.
1945, U.S. Marines raised the flag of the United States on top. I cannot say this word. On top
Iwo Jima.
I know, but Mount Surabaka. Iwo Jima. I can't say the mountain, but
All
anyways.
you need is Iwo Jima.
Okay. The Pulitzer Prize winning photo later becomes iconic, but that photo marks that one right there.
Yep.
1954, the mass vaccine against polio takes place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
1983, LSU baseball opens the season. The Skip Bertman era begins.
They might want to check on that.
Really?
Was it 83 or 84?
It's showing up as 1983 for me.
Okay.
That was the first year that changed LSU's baseball forever, laying the foundation for Omaha national titles.
Yep.
February 23rd, 1983.
Okay.
1991, the ground war begins in Operation Desert Storm. 2008, Fidel Castro steps down.
Yeah, no, Bertman was hired by athletic director Bob Broadhead to coach LSU in 1984. Because I did this story last week where he won his first game at USM 7-1. It was either last Thursday or Friday.
That is baloney with cheese.
Well,
I know. I agree with you, but 2 articles pulled that up for me. That's ridiculous. All right. 2022, Russia launches its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. What else you got?
This day in 1870, Mississippi was readmitted to the Union after seceding and being in the Civil War. I always wondered, like, when you were readmitted to the Union, did you get a little hazed or whatever? I know you had to pay some money, you had to pledge allegiance again, you had to and you had to pass all the amendments within your state that coincided with it. But did they haze everybody a little bit coming back in?
I don't know.
Also, it was on this day in 1985. Get ready for this.
Okay.
This day in 1985, the chair was thrown. Bobby Knight versus Purdue University. No. Bobby Knight threw a chair onto the court during a game against Purdue on this day in 1985. Those of us who grew up in the 80s, remember this vividly.
I remember hearing about it.
Indiana would go on to lose that game. Purdue wins 72-63.
And then later in life, Morgan Wallen throws it off the bar in Nashville.
Yeah.
Something about chairs.
No, something different.
All right. Notable birthdays. On this day, George Washington had a birthday today.
Uh-huh.
Drew Barrymore, born in 1975, has a birthday today.
Okay.
Julia Walters, she is known for her roles in Harry Potter, Mamma Mia, born in 1949 today. James Blunt has a birthday today. Rachel Dratch, she is known from her role in 30 Rock, is born on this day.
All right. I would double check that. Are you on the 22nd or the 23rd?
I'm showing 22nd on the 22nd.
Today's the 23rd.
That is why my day is off today. This whole time, Brian.
Yeah.
This whole time. Okay.
Yeah, today's February 23rd.
All right.
All right. I'll throw these out there today. But I had the Alamo as well.
Something's wrong with our...
And Iwo Jima.
Something's wrong.
I think your birthdays were just off. All right.
Birthdays are just off.
So here's the birthdays I got for today. Fred Biletnikoff, of course, a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Ed Too Tall Jones and Bobby Bonilla.
Okay.
Yeah, longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, New York Met. He's still getting paid by Major League Baseball. He's still getting paid by the Mets every July 1st. Oh, also, born on this day in 1680. You ready for this one? Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne de Bienville.
Huh? Oh, yeah, Louisiana history.
Yeah.
The way you said it, though, I'm like, huh?
Yeah, Bienville was born on this day in 1680.
Now, my notable deaths are correct. On this day, February 23rd, you have Howie Epstein. He's known for Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Okay.
John Quincy Adams, sits president of the United States. Notable deaths for this day. What about you?
I got none.
All right, let's see. National Day. Let's see. Oh, see, none of these are that. I don't really. The only one that's pulling up, National Alley Cat Day.
That
don't make it. See, that's and that's the only one that's pulling up. We don't really have a good notable day.
All right. Well, I'm fine with not having notable days because
let's just skip it.
Either you're going to get a really, really good one, or we could just move on.
Yep.
I'm trying to see what one I had, but I'm scrolling down.
Clean Monday Day. Clean Monday. Curling is cool day. Carling is cool. Let's go with it.
All right. That'll work. It's 8:15, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Going to take a break in just a quick minute. Got to remind you about the folks over at One Bath and Closets. David Duvall and his team. Full-throated endorsement of the work that they do. Late last year, Christy and I decided, hey, you know what? Our house was built in 1964. We're about to roll into 2026. We have a 1964 bathroom. It's time to call David. It's time to get up to speed with our bathroom. We had one vanity, we were sharing the sink, just old school, the cast iron tub, the old iron tub. It was just not very user friendly for our modern needs, for the needs of a 2026 bathroom. So David came in, maximized the square footage, made sure we got every inch worth of it, worth of space to be used more efficiently. And I could not be happier with the results. I would highly recommend you check out One Bath and Closets, ONE, onebathandclosets.com. Look, a lot of houses in Baton Rouge built a little while ago. It might be time for an upgrade. 400-8005 is the phone number. 400-8005 is the phone number, or check it out, onebathandclosets.com. Skip Berman's first game as a head coach at LSU was on February 20th, 1984.
Son of a gun. Well, we'll have to say it again when it comes up.
No, it did. I did the whole bit on it on Friday.
Hey, Moon, good morning. I am doing good. How was your weekend? Oh, well, that's good to hear. You always need downtime, for sure.
Oh, hell, is he off right now?
Oh, are you off? Brian wants to know, are you off? Off when, he says.
No, I mean, like, am we bothering him on vacation?
Are you on vacation? Are you off of the show this week? No, he's here. He was just enjoying his time this weekend.
Okay.
He's ready to go, he says. Okay, we'll be coming to you in 2 minutes. Okay. He said, no, tell that man I'm ready to go. What's wrong?
I can't get to the PowerPoint for BREC. It's password protected. It's not letting me in.
Oh, go to the other email. The other email that Robin sent us, like the one right before that. And then you'll have to put your email in there, and it'll shoot you a code. Are you on that one?
Yeah.
Really? Let me email it to you. Hang on. I have it, but hang on. I'll email it to you. Because there was one email where you couldn't get into it at all because you're not a BREC employee.
Right.
But the other one will let you in.
Okay. $8:19 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Every Monday we talk about everything under the sun with Moon Griffon joins us now. How are you, man?
Hey, Brian, doing great, man. How you been?
I've been not as good as you, but I've been all right.
Why you say that?
Well, because you're showing up in some rankings, my man. I don't even know if you saw this last week.
No, I didn't see anything with anything. What's up?
I'm looking for the email. Kate sent it over to me. Your boy is number 10 nationwide when it comes to mid-market news talk radio midday shows. You are number 10. There's one other Louisiana-based show made the top 20, and that was Mr. Newell Norman down in New Orleans. You beat Newell by 3 spots. He came in at number 13. You are number 10 mid-market news talk midday shows.
I guess my 9.5 listeners have grown somewhat.
And by the way, they list you as Baton Rouge. I just want to let you know, they list you right here, boss.
Well,
right
you know,
here.
Brian, the good news is they listen me where I'm originally from, and my heart will always be, of course, Plaquemine, but Baton Rouge, I went to college. So, wow, that's you got to send that to me. I like to read a good story all myself every now and then.
So I'll get Cade to send it over because he just sent me the slides of how they had each one listed. He just sent me the slides. So I got Moon at number 10 and Newell at number 13. So take that, New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm humbled, I can promise you, because you know, Brian, it's funny. You probably do it like me. If you enjoy what you do and you work hard, that kind of stuff I just don't even think about. I just keep trying to get better and do it every day. I'm not young in the business anymore, but you know, with the changes that we've seen with social media, and we're getting ready to be live, Rumble and all that stuff coming up real soon. I got to finalize a couple things and we're ready to go. You got to adjust on things because everything stays the same, but it really doesn't. It changes all the time. So I'm learning. I'm just learning the hard way because I'm a little older.
Well, it's as long as the focus remains the same, and the focus is you're an entertainer and a storyteller. I mean, that is number one.
By the way, I'm glad you said that because I've had some elected officials from time to time get mad at me. So what they tell people is I'm an entertainer. And you know what I tell them? Exactly.
Yeah.
I tell people, look, I remember the legendary Rush Limbaugh. He said what? He said, I want to grow the biggest audience I can and maintain it. And he said, you got to do it in several ways. One of the main ways is entertainment and having fun. And, you know, Brian, I know we get serious. People go, boy, Moon was really on it, or Brian was really on it, whatever. The bottom line is, can we get an audience? Can you grow one? And can you keep them? All that stuff matters. But I think people like to laugh. In Louisiana, we like to laugh. We like to have fun. And so my motto is, if you're not laughing with me, laugh at me. At least laugh.
Absolutely. All right. We got Moon Griffon with us. Every Monday we talk about everything under the sun with Moon. Let's pivot over, talk a little business. We are just a couple weeks away from the legislative session opening. We are to the point now where you're starting to see a lot of pre-filed legislation. At what point do you start dialing in and start really, digging in and reading up on what's coming up?
I usually do it the week of, Brian, because first of all, we don't know everything. A lot of people file late.
Right.
Okay. And then they may file something and pull it back and change it and refile it. I mean, that happens every year. So I kind of wait to the week of, and I think when we get the week of, and you and me will probably be at the Capitol again doing the program. I'm lining that up now. It's not a problem. And we're going to go to the Capitol. And you start getting a lot of insights of what's going on. It kind of starts slowing and then it rolls. I am curious to see a few things, Brian. I'm curious to see if we're going to come back with any insurance reform. What I'm hearing is bits and pieces. We're not going to come back nothing like last year. Well, maybe they've done enough lifting that they don't have to come back as strong. But there were a lot of bills that, were killed in the Senate that were never heard. Some things to make this better. We're kind of fortunate. We hadn't had any hurricanes or big disasters out there. The wrecks are down. That means the lawsuits are down.
Right.
So there's been some insurance adjustment. Mine went down $16 a month. I'm just telling you, I've never had that happen in a long time. So
wait, your car or your home?
My home.
Okay.
Matter of fact, Brian, I got it packaged. Home, car, all that stuff. I was down $16 a month. So,
okay.
That's what mine was. And it probably had more to do with vehicles than anything else.
We're talking with Moon Griffon. The legislative session is just a couple weeks away. So what I'm gathering so far, Moon, and you picked up on this a lot at LABI's annual meeting a couple weeks ago, was the workforce issues. It looks like building out Louisiana's workforce to be competitive with every other state. It feels like that's going to be the main focus this year.
Yeah, and you know what? To LABI's credit, I'm glad to see them stand on top of that, because if they don't, we won't get there.
Right.
And I'm hoping and praying that the governor and the Republicans will see that. Ron, we need to be more competitive business-wise. And I think they got their hands on the pulse of what we need to do. I don't know why it takes so long and it's such a slow motion thing here in Louisiana, because there's some places we got to do some catching up on.
Yeah.
And you just think you would take some big steps sometime. I think we need some bigger steps. That's all. And then we can change this thing around. And that's what I'm hoping and praying we can do.
One of the moves that I saw in the offseason, well, we all saw, but one of the moves that I've been noting about in the offseason was moving Richard Nelson over to head up LCTCS, the Community and Technical College System. That move by the governor's office feels like he's getting the pieces on the chessboard in place to make sure that this legislative session can be a full-on assault to move in that direction, take those big steps that you're talking about when it comes to a big part of developing workforce is developing the educational front on it. So I feel like that was a big move that's kind of telling of what's to come.
Yeah, the governor has talked about jobs and businesses. And in some areas you can say, yeah, you got the Meta, you got all these centers that are coming up, you got some big projects that are supposed to come, all working on them now. But you can't stop there, because everybody else is moving forward too. So we'll see what Nelson does. He was a big pro-business, anti-tax guy when it comes to businesses. But, Brian, I want to see the legislation that they actually pass and what it's going to do, because a lot of times stuff that'll pass this year might not come true. We may not see the works of it for 2 years. And that's what bothers me. I want to start seeing the works of everything that they're saying they accomplished. And according to what the governor and the legislature are saying, nobody's telling their story. Well, I always say you got to feel it to believe it. When are we going to feel it? And right. I think that matters when we feel it, because until people do, people are going to keep out migrating. They got to feel it and see it.
Yeah, I know. You're getting back to that insurance front. And are you sensing that there's any kind of insurance reform fatigue going on? Like people just.
Yeah, I really believe that, the governor sets the agenda, and I don't think, and it's no cut on the governor, I don't think nobody wants that fight like last year. I think a lot of people felt like they got beat up trying to do the right things, and they rather just accept the step in the right direction and not make the second, third step. That's why I get mad at that comment, a step in the right direction. You get just as mad because if they take a step, and we know it takes 10 steps, and you won't take the second step, Brian, you never get there. And that's my big concern, because I don't see the push like we saw last year. Now, I was told there's some bills coming up. I haven't filed all the bills. Alan Seaball had a bill. I heard Alan was going to bring it back up. Let's see what happens.
What you got coming up on the show today?
We got that. We got national news. I got somebody to talk about Wall Street and the stock market and the debt deal. We got that. Also, they had the ruling with the tariffs. I got Roy Alexander, who's a friend of mine. He's an attorney. He follows this stuff. And about the tariffs. And, did we lose? Did we win? Clarence Thomas ripped the court for voting down the tariffs there. They said the court did not understand what they were voting for. And I thought, coming from a justice to the rest of the justice, that takes some guts to say. Yeah. Kavanaugh, Clarence Thomas, and Samuel Alito voted to continue the tariffs. I'm really disappointed in Comey. I'm not surprised by Roberts. But Comey is Barrett, who's from here, is made some really, really funny votes. And I'm kind of figuring out where she's coming from.
Now, but this one in particular, it's always been understood that Congress holds the purse strings. Congress imposes taxes. But at the same time, though,
one thing, Congress authorized the president to regulate importation. Thomas wrote in the dissent. He said that it cannot be justified by just statutory interpretation. In other words, yeah, you're right about Congress.
Yeah.
But he says that American history, the president did it. So that's why he was disappointed.
Well, I had, and we got 30 seconds left. I had Jeremy Dalrymple from R Street on this morning talking about it, and he basically just said it's a shell game, and they haven't turned over the right shell. So,
good point.
Moon Griffon coming up 9 to noon right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Always appreciate the time, brother.
No, Brian. God bless. Thank you, sir.
You too. Oh, holy hell. Oh. Who's on hold? Is that the Sela guy on hold?
yeah, it's for BREC. I just don't know who it
All
is.
right. I waited too long to get into the Amy Coney Barrett.
How are y'all? Okay.
Oh, y'all care if can I go run a copy of that? Because my email was showing up as password protected. It wouldn't let me in.
So on the slides, it's still number 6. We're skipping.
You can skip that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, school in the park is another thing. School in the park might be something.
Could put that on park improvements.
Are Ray and Angela calling in? Okay, good, perfect.
They should have called in. About 3 minutes.
There's no way to take it out since I'm not the creator. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go 5 to 7. Yeah, I'll just skip it.
And we might throw in the topics here and there. I'll kind of let you know, like there's no slide for that.
So just if there's no slide for that, just leave it on the slide it's on
Yes.
until we jump to the next one.
Yes.
Okay. You need a pen today?
Well, actually, you know what I do? I'll put a note.
And if you need me, just write me something.
Yes.
There you go.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. So we're skipping number 6.
All right.
There is a slide for that, Brian, but I'm just gonna go 5 to 7.
Okay.
Now, what slide?
Wait,
is
who do
our-
we have for this? Is our
Ray Harold and Angela. Angela Reams.
Yeah, for that second segment.
Reams, R-E-A-M-S,
Mm-hmm.
and Ray Harold.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got Ray.
Ray Harold
love Ray.
Lawson.
What?
Ray Harold Lawson.
Harold Lawson.
We just call him Ray Lawson.
I just call him
And they're
Ray.
talking about
Yeah,
improvements.
Yep.
And we're gonna talk about like 4 or 5 different.
All right.
You want me to go straight into the BREC over?
Yeah.
What's going on with that? It's like the Ray's thing didn't kick in. Remember that?
That happened last week.
I
Yeah.
need to get with Kay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him something's out of order in the 835 room. Hold on. Let me get rid of this.
Boy, I got right off of Chippewa, right at that exit where the bad wreck was. I-110 was completely closed. Mhm. I saw the brake lights coming up, so I pulled over to the right side and said, exit.
There's
I
someone.
only got one right now.
Have the other one call 499-1073.
1073.
Yeah, I only have one right now, and it was a man.
Yeah,
So I'm
that's-
assuming
That's
it's
right.
Ray. I didn't ask
408-1897 is the hotline number. The 499-1073 is just a basic studio number.
One 107.3.
Yeah.
Yep.
8:36, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. And it's right about this time that we pivot over to the BREC Room, where we get caught up to speed on everything going on at BREC, which is inevitably a lot. Want to welcome back to the show Janet Simmons and Maurice Velasquez. Welcome back. How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning. We're doing great.
Are you loving the brisk weather this morning? It's like
weather.
a return to the winter for just a quick minute.
Super nice outside.
Yes.
And I'm not a cold person.
No, neither am I, but it's that refreshing nice. It's just, I like to use the term seasonably appropriate.
I think
if it's February, there should be a little bit when you breathe it in, you know?
Right, absolutely.
So it does kind of throw off the whole schedule, though, because like now's the time, while it might be cold outside, now's the time to start thinking about summertime if you got kids.
Absolutely, especially if you want them to come to the BREC camps. And registration starts on March the 7th. So we're super excited about that.
We got less than 2 weeks until that really kicks into gear. Now, speaking of as a parent who has utilized the BREC camps in the past, I'm a huge proponent, huge supporter, because there's so many options out there. No matter what it is your kids are into, you can kind of funnel them in that direction.
That is exactly right. And you've got art if your kid is interested in art, outdoor sports, which my grandson does that one. He loves that outdoor adventure. And then there are parks, there are camps that go all over. They take tours and field trips and swimming and all kinds of different things that they do. And that my little granddaughter that's 10 will be doing that this year. So she's 11. Good grief. She's going to get on to me about that.
Getting there quick. No, you got it right. You got it right eventually. That's so talk about the summer camp registration. A big part of this, or at least when Christy and I were going through it, because the kids are older now, so they've kind of graduated out a little bit. But a big part of what swung us towards BREC was not just the options, but the locations as well. Y'all are able to meet people where they are.
They're all over the parish, East Baton Rouge Parish. So if you live up in Zachary, you can access the Zachary camps. If you live down south in St. George, you can access those camps. Middle, Central, Baker, and Baton Rouge. So they are all over.
Yeah, I know we've the two that, because are like, we live in Sherwood, but our whole lives are at Our Lady of Mercy, and we've taken advantage of camps both at at the headquarters building, right there on Florida, which is directly across the street from Mercy, basically, but also over at Independence
Park, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, we have camps for children that have disabilities. There are adaptive camps that we provide services for parents who have kids that are not able to be in school all year round, and they're able to go to these adaptive camps, which is very cool. I think it's a really big service to our community.
Now, finding this, navigating the website to find it, to make sure you can register, how user friendly have we set that up to be?
Easy. You at BREC.org, and in the search field type in summer camps.
Okay.
Or type in summer camp registration.
Okay.
Yeah, tested it over the weekend. Yeah, the easiest way to find it. You'll see all the different options.
Awesome. Now the hardest part is wait until March 7th to go ahead and sign up. That is when registration will officially open. We'll come back around to this and refresh the topic once it gets closer to it. But this is one of those ones where, y'all know I talk about how BREC has to be all things to all people. Well, as a parent, we've utilized this regularly, so I know what a fantastic option it is, just as someone who lives within the parish. All right, let's pivot over real quick. Want to talk about we haven't talked about the zoo nearly enough. I'm just gonna let y'all run. Tell me what's going on.
So we just finished the crew at the zoo. It was the Crew de Zoo Mardi Gras celebration and also fundraising. It was great. See Brianna over there pumping it up, man. Yeah, so we've got a lot of things going on at the zoo. Particularly, we're working on building a new education building so that people can come and learn a lot more about the animals, do a lot of hands-on learning. So that's exciting coming up at the zoo. We just finished a safari playground, and so we've got some more options for parents to take their kids to. So
whereabouts
super
is
excited
that?
about that. In the zoo?
Yeah.
That's a great question. I'm not sure exactly where it is.
All right, when you come in through the zoo, you'll see the giraffes on the right. It is right after the giraffes. Take a right. You have the safari playground right there. It's very visible.
Is it where the other playground used to be? The one that's back there by the petting zoo?
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's in front of Kids Zoo. Same place.
Okay. So by the petting zoo, by the big concession stand.
Right.
All right.
And
about
don't miss the giraffes. Okay.
No, you can't miss the giraffes.
My grandson, the whole family took our grandson first trip to the zoo. It's fantastic.
It is great. And the fact that it's led with that is awesome.
We've got three beautiful. They're beautiful creatures.
And a brand new giraffe too
Yeah.
from Oklahoma City.
Yep. So yeah, the zoos is one of the highlights, I think, for BREC. Also, we wanted
So
to.
there, I'm sorry to say.
Go ahead.
There's a 6,000-pound rhinoceros.
Hmm?
Yes, most people have no idea. So I turn the corner, okay, and we're all, first of all, we're aghast at the bears, and when you turn the corner and you get to the rhino, and he is like
huge,
yeah, just rolling in the water. Of course, we have to find out 6,000 pounds. If you've never seen 6,000 pounds of live animal, you got to go to the zoo.
I mean,
it's fantastic.
That's literally 3 tons.
Yes, it's 3 tons.
Yes, and there's two. There's a black rhino. There's an Indian rhino.
Yes.
Oh, wow. All
yeah,
right.
it's fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, the whole experience was fantastic. You got to get to the zoo.
Oh, and like I enjoy talking about the zoo because our zoo is super underrated.
Yes, very much.
We
so.
have
And the improvements that have made in the last 3 years is amazing.
Even from the turnaround of the entrance was just the start of it.
Yep.
But it made the whole thing so much more fluid.
Yeah,
I think if you go see the jaguars too, they are quite remarkable animals. Amazing.
Okay.
They're beautiful and they're very scary. They are. They're so when I went and visited with Jim, our director, and we went into the cage area where the jaguars are, and he said they will eat you.
Oh yeah.
Do not mess with them. They will look straight through you, and you are bait to them.
Okay.
So we don't want to mess with them.
So just keep yourself on the other side.
Well, see, here in Baton Rouge, we tend to let our guard down when it comes to big cats. I mean,
Sure.
we've got Mike the Tiger over on
Right,
LSU's campus,
absolutely.
and look, he's playing. No, if the glass wasn't there, he'd be hunting. The same is true with the Jaguars. They are not. Oh, they're not sweet little kitties. No.
They're beautiful.
They are deadly animals and to be respected, to be sure. But yes, also equally beautiful. This is the BREC Room. We take a couple minutes every Monday to talk about what's going on with our parish's recreational department. Let's talk volunteer hours for a little bit.
So this is a great opportunity, in particular for those seniors who have retired and really want to do some other things besides just sitting at home playing on their computers or on their TV screens or on their phones. And it's an opportunity for them to do volunteer work and really help other people. But also as they gain those hours, if they gain 30 hours a year, they get to take a $500 tax write-off on their Louisiana tax. It's
very,
a
very
tax
cool stuff.
Credit.
What are some of the things that they can? Obviously, they're not feeding jaguars by hand.
No.
What are some of the things that the volunteers can do?
Well, they can work at any one of our events. We have a lot of volunteers that offer their services to be, for example, registration. They can do cleanup. They can do setup. There's all kinds of things you can do with any of our events. We have right now, we have a whole group of people that are volunteering with our pickleball program to be able to open our parks more often so that we can provide that access to pickleball players. So that's another opportunity. I mean, there's so many different opportunities. And we've got Dodie, who's our volunteer director. She manages and keeps up with all of this, and she keeps track of your hours. You don't even have to keep track of it on your own. She does all of that, and then she sends out at the end of the year a letter saying how many hours you've worked.
Okay.
And then we have a volunteer event at the very end of the year, just celebrating or maybe at the beginning of the year, celebrating our past.
Yeah, we just had our gala.
Yeah.
The numbers are staggering. You see them here on the screen.
I'm looking at them up.
35,000 hours, volunteer hours. They're worth over $1
Over $1
million.
million.
Okay.
$1 million worth of volunteer effort, but
Correct.
it's the 35,766 volunteer hours. That's a lot of man hours put in. And I think bigger than that, though, is the effects of the community. If you're looking to volunteer, you're going to meet other volunteers. You're going to talk to other people. You're getting out and enjoying other Baton Rougeans, as it were. Right. So
when you're doing a community service.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
really important.
Absolutely. I want to keep us on time. We're going to move things around just a little bit. I want to keep us on time and make sure that we can get our guests on here to talk park improvements. I see one of the lines lit up. We're going to have Angela and was it Ray or Roy? Ray joining us. I don't know which one we've got right now. Who we got on the hotline?
We have both of us.
Oh, you're both on the hotline. Okay, I thought y'all were looking for two different lines. Angela Reams, Ray Harold Lawson. Welcome aboard. I want to talk to y'all for just a quick minute about park improvements. Tell me what's the latest.
All right. Well, we got Beaver Creek, and we have a large culvert replacement up at Beaver Creek Golf Course. It is just about done. They'll be done in a few weeks. So that's very nice for our golf course. You'll see right now, hole 11 is kind of diverted for a very, very large culvert improvement. That's just going to help the drainage across the area there. Up in Alson, which is a community kind of in between Baker and Zachary, we have a brand new playground there. Really exciting playground for that community. All covered shade structures over the playground. Welcoming pavilion at the front. We'll be replacing their community gardens there. That community is very involved in their gardening. So that's really exciting. That's wrapping up in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We'll have a grand opening event planned there soon. We also have a couple of locations for new asphalt parking lots and parking lot repairs. And so at Anna T. Jordan Community Park, that is up in the Scotlandville area, we've redone the entire parking lot. So it's all new asphalt. It's completed. We're just waiting on some striping and some ramps and curb replacements on that, and then it'll be finished. Over at Lovett Road Park in Central, we're redoing that whole front parking lot to the rec center. That one is going to be changed from a limestone parking lot to an asphalt parking lot. And then we're also adding a couple of light poles throughout that parking lot, so you'll have more visibility at night as people are coming and going out of the rec center. So that parking lot was actually being asphalted this week.
Oh, wow.
So that's really exciting.
Very cool stuff. We're talking with Angela Reams and Ray Lawson about some of the park improvements going on right now. Who sets those priorities as to what gets done when?
Well, we follow our kind of strategic guide was from our Imagineer Parks planning efforts. We go through and prioritize our parks. There's a scoring criteria, and we get a lot of public input. So depending on where things are needed the most in the parish, we go through and see which parks do we need to hit this year versus in the next 3 years. And so you're just going to go through a series of criteria, and then the public engagement is really important for us.
What you got coming up after these 4 projects are done? What's next on tap?
Well, we have several projects coming up, Brian, right now, as well as Angela said. Some of the big stuff that we have going on right now is our pilot program with our mini splits that will definitely help everybody in the parish. We're piloting that to get ready for the summer and camps, as Maurice and Miss Janet just alluded to. So we definitely have that going on. We're also upgrading some playgrounds and doing some playgrounds repair that we'll be keeping you guys abreast on as well. You'll see next week some things we have going on in Harding Street and also at Oak Villa, some padding that went in, and also at Goldsby, some upgrades for those 2 baseball stadiums. But throughout the parish, processes as well, bettering our turf and restroom service. So getting some of those things online just to get them better for the citizens of the parish.
Last one before we get you out of here, Ray. I greatly appreciate Angela and Ray for hopping aboard. Last one before we get you out of here is this time of year can get a little bit tricky when it comes to the weather. How are y'all managing staying on top of everything?
Well, just keeping abreast of what the weather is, starting processes. Last week we were cutting grass, and again here we have this cold snap. We have a lot of clover and things out. The grass hadn't woken up yet, which is giving us a little window. But just paying attention to things and getting things done where we can with the weather change.
Good stuff. Angela, Ray, appreciate y'all hopping on board for just a quick minute.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. We're going to step away for a quick second. You're listening to the BREC Room. Going to check your money now on Talk 107.3.
I'm going to bring up the death.
Oh, I did not know if you wanted. Okay.
I'm going to bring that up in the next segment because we're going to talk about Bluebonnet Swamp.
And you want to mention the burn that's happening today?
I'll mention the burn.
I didn't. So
get back to the burn. I'll talk about the burn.
Are you still doing the burn? Because we're under the red flag warning.
That's a great question.
That was why I skipped it.
That's a great question.
It threw me. I'm sorry. I was like,
okay, you're probably right. We're probably not going to.
That was why I skipped it. We're
okay. No.
And we saw.
We can talk about it though.
Okay.
We can.
We're going to skip that traffic report. It was just
so just come after your money now. Just rejoin.
Yeah, just bump it back to me. Gonna check your money now. Thank you. Thank y'all. We're going to step away for a quick second. You're listening to the BREC Room.
I don't have Sharon's message.
It doesn't have a spot on the back end.
Oh, bump it back. We'll take the minute. Bump it.
no, we're in. We're into the spot.
Oh, I heard the beep.
It beeped and then went right to the spot.
Okay. All right, cool.
What is going on like that? So
They
we're
got problems.
supposed to take commercials out of our national segment, and this morning the commercials beep. So Brian's like, get out of it.
Yeah, you want to give me back time? I'll take time back all day long. That's
So next up, we're just going straight into tennis.
We're not doing tennis.
No,
tennis.
That was the one we're skipping.
That's the one we're
remember?
skipping.
Yeah, but we're actually going to start somewhere else. If you want to rewind it back to the burn, and you leave the burn up when we talk about. So I'm going to start with the death.
I can talk about the burn too. I mean, just
Okay.
saying that we're probably not going to have
Yeah.
it because of the red flag warning. That we normally do that annually, and so.
$852 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Every Monday we bring you the BREC Room, bringing up to speed on everything going on at BREC Parks. We've got Janet Simmons and Maurice Velasquez in with us as we do every single Monday. All right, Janet, we gotta talk about something that happened. There was a death at one of the BREC Parks.
Yes.
This is not something that happens regularly, but one of the things that I've appreciated about you since you've taken over is you're not going to shy away from talking about things that do happen.
Right.
Tell me about what transpired and where we're at.
Okay, so we don't know the full details of what happened, but we do know that the park was breached during the hours that it was closed.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons I want to talk about it is because of the importance of making sure that you manage not breaking the rules, because they're there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And the folks that were there swimming, they were swimming during closed hours. And obviously there's nobody there during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a problem in terms of us being able to manage taking care of issues that come about. So we were notified that morning while we were in a training, that this had happened. And I just want to let the general public know, if it says do not swim, or if it says the park is closed, the park is closed, and there's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
We are so sorry for this tragic event that happened for this woman that passed away after she had problems with the swimming. It is very tragic. We're very, very sorry about that. We just really want people to heed the warning signs. If you want to swim, I mean, I think there's swimming allowed down at the river.
Okay.
You're swimming at your own risk. There are not lifeguards or anything down there.
Right.
And every year people go down and do kind of crazy things during the summertime. But we just want to make sure that people are aware that this is serious and don't take it for granted.
Oh,
On that
absolutely.
note, we do provide swimming lessons throughout all of our BREC parks, the swimming pools during the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that for a reason, because in Louisiana, you have water everywhere.
Right.
And so it's important for kids to learn how to swim. And so we want to really reiterate the importance of having your children taking swimming lessons so that they can swim.
I appreciate you addressing it. I do. Let's getting back on track with where we were headed today. There was supposed to be a prescribed burn over at Howell Park, but I mean, I'm sure y'all saw the headlines yesterday down I-12, and you know that there's a red flag warning out there right now. I'd asked Angela and Ray about how the weather jams up their schedule. Weather's kind of jamming up your schedule on this one.
Right. So yesterday morning, my husband started a fire in the fireplace, and I said, there's a red flag warning out. And he goes, well, I'm not going to burn outside. And I was thinking about the ashes going out of the chimney or whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did have a prescribed burn scheduled for this week at Howell Park, but because of the red flag warning, I'm sure that we're not going to be doing that, but it'll probably be coming up in the next couple of weeks. So just be prepared for that in the Howell Park area. We've got, that's a beautiful park that we have up off of Winburn Avenue. And it's an area where people can go and picnic and walk, and it's a lot. There are lots of things to do at Howell Park. There's a playground there as well. And then we also, talking about the conservation area, we were talking about the Blackwater Conservation Area where the woman was found with drowning. We also have our Frenchtown Conservation Area where people can go walk and do hiking. And then we also have our Bluebonnet Swamp. And that's where a lot of the efforts go about, where teaching kids about rocks and minerals and all kinds of cool things that they can learn about. There's a rock climbing wall. I actually am not a rock climber personally. I've got a torn rotator cuff, so there's no way I could hold myself up on a rock wall. But there's all kinds of things that they can experience. Learning about the gold rush while hunting for iron pirate in our gold mine. They can try out some rocking crafts or paint their own rock animal in their craft corner and explore ancient life forms in the fossil quarry. So there's all kinds of things to learn about at the Bluebonnet Swamp. And they've got a great gift store. If you ever want to get gifts for your grandkids or your kids that are not very expensive, but they're very cool, check out their gift store.
It's a great event. Ages 3 to 5, very inexpensive, $3, $5. Fantastic. It's all day long.
Okay. Very, very cool. So, and yeah, Bluebonnet's one of the ones where as we're moving on in the calendar year, as the weather starts to warm up a little bit, it's one of those ones where you can really enjoy the outdoors around here. The Frenchtown Conservation, we've actually taken the family out there for a hike before as well. It just, as the weather starts to warm up, there's going to be so many more options.
Absolutely.
One of the things that weather never gets in the way of, because the people who do it are crazy people and are absolutely obsessed, is pickleball. Pickleball is getting it feels like from week to week it continues to grow.
It really is a sport that is taking off nationwide.
Yeah,
it is. And we're looking at a lot of different ways that we could possibly boost the sport here in Baton Rouge. But right now, the way that we're addressing the needs for pickleball is that we've got these volunteer groups that are willing to help us open up the parks a little bit more often.
Okay.
So that we can have more play in pickleball. It has grown 250% in the past year. It's amazing. It's amazing. I played it for the first time it was been about probably 3 weeks ago. I went over to Lovett Park and had a meeting with some of the volunteers there. And then we got out on the pickleball court. I brought my tennis shoes and got out there. It is fun. And I have a torn rotator cuff.
Yeah, but it's all underhand, basically.
But it's mostly underhand, and it is a lot of fun. You use a lot of leg muscles, and it's a great sport.
We have over 100 courts. That's what a lot of people.
And it's not enough. That's the stupid part. It's not enough.
A lot of people don't know it. So
Right.
we have, we listed here for you all the different ones. Just go to our website, BREC.org, and type in pickleball. All right. And it'll basically list out all the different courts available. They're all over the parish. Now, on the 27th, we have a free clinic.
A free clinic.
Every
12 o'clock every Friday. Okay.
At
Really at Highland. It's a great way to people to get accustomed to it. A little bit different than, of course, tennis. You got to know the rules. So come out. It's really a great course.
I mean, grown by 250% in the past 5 years, and y'all want to accelerate that even more by teaching more people how to take part in pickleball. Over 100 courts is just not enough. It's crazy. We got about 30 seconds left. You want to tee up anything for March?
I do want to say something about this Friday. We've got a ribbon cutting ceremony downtown with the trails that
nice.
are a part of the civil rights track, and that's going to be on Friday along with the downtown development district and the Walls Project.
That is where we're going to wrap it up for today. Janet, Maurice, thank you all so much as always for stopping by. You've been listening to the BREC Room as part of Mornings with Brian Haldane. That's going to do it for us overall, y'all. Moon Griffon's coming up next. We will be back at it tomorrow right here on Talk 107.3 FM.
Thank y'all. How do you think this is going over? People,
I think each one has gotten better than the one before. I think
responding to it?
On the Facebook page, not really. Not really. Which is a good thing.
And we wanted to build.
Yeah, as far as Facebook's concerned, you get more terrestrial radio listeners by this time of the show. I find that from 8:15 to 8:30, the numbers start dropping off because people are at work and getting to work. But it's those that are listening on the radio, it doesn't drop off at all. So I just wish we subscribed to ratings so that I could actually know. But no, it's as far as content is concerned, this was better than last week. Last week was better than the week before.
Good.
So yeah, that was good.
Okay, great.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
No
Very much.
problem.
Thanks, Brian.
My pleasure, as always.
I'm so glad we got to talk about the zoo.
Yeah.
Are we out on?
No.
Oh.
We can't be. You never told him bye, Brian.
Oh, well.